The AFL Centenary Season, proudly brought to you by Mitre 10 and UltraTune. For 2 years, the spectre of Essendon and that humiliating loss in the 1993 preliminary final sent the Crows into a downward spiral. A dive that has only just been arrested this season. Tonight, the tough new Crows of 1996 are at home to the Bombers. Tonight, there are questions to be answered. 7 Sport, in this centenary season, takes you to Football Park. Adelaide at home to Essendon on Saturday Night Football.
And it's great to be a part of Saturday Night Football once again. Hello everyone and welcome to a fantastic night, a fantastic atmosphere here at Football Park in South Australia for what should be a belter of a game between the Adelaide Crows, unbeaten so far this year, and the Essendon Bombers, who've been beaten only once. Such a vital game for both sides. If you look at the ladder, you can see Adelaide looking to achieve their best start since coming into the competition. They are sitting at the moment at the top of the ladder. A victory to Essendon tonight would certainly see them climb the ladder.
The AFL Centenary Season, proudly brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors Australia, Qantas, the Australian airline, Foster's Lager, Mobil, Nike and McDonald's.
And Adelaide has once again given our special expert Don Scott a warm welcome. Donnie, a great atmosphere once again. Well, you would know they lost $26,000 in fines and everything during the week, would you?
But there's a few intellectual pygmies out there, let me tell you, Sandy. It's a great atmosphere. And there he is back, number 6, Tony Modra. But Tony McGuinness is not there. He was named in the team in the forward pocket, but poor Tony's body is just not holding up. And Anderson, Greg Anderson's back, so that'll be an interesting lineup for Adelaide. He'll be anxious to do well against his old side.
Jamie's Hurd looking for a big game here. The Bombers have only lost to Carlton so far this year. They've beaten Richmond and also the West Coast Eagles.
Well, David Grenville, Sandy, from Bordertown, he is out of the side. Now, he was named on interchange, and Peter Berbakoff is coming in. Now, he's an old Bays man. Is that right? A Bays from Gwinnett? And he's coming in on interchange, Sandy. So there's the Essendon side.
Oh, you're pumped tonight. That's good to see, because this is going to be a rip-roaring game. Stay with us, won't you, right throughout the night. We'll take a break and then be back with all the action.
Sunday, 7's got it all. Your favourite shows in Australia's #1 lineup of fun. In Talk to the Animals, it's a trip to an Adelaide dentist. For a bite-happy little South Australian called Hopper. Plus, Dr. Harry's tips for a healthy pet. At 7:30, Tim's mum is in town.
Anybody asked? You had bean turd.
But is she a bigger disaster than Tim?
Bring the boys with you?
How many of them were there?
On Home Improvement. Then at 8 o'clock, Seinfeld and the world's greatest commercials. Sunday on 7.
The way some stores put their prices up and down, it's hard to know whether you're getting good value or not. At Bunnings, we don't have sales. We just lowered our prices and left them low. Rush in for the lowdown. Hatchet a low $5.95. Plastic leaf and lawn rake only $2.95. Krypton light lantern, great value at $6.95. Pine shelf kit is always $9.95. 300 gram Sally's RV7, just $2.50. And seagrass doormats, just 2 for $3.
Bunnings, everyday low prices.
That's the bottom line.
Barina. It's what's been missing in big deals. A new Barina packed with features for only $14,990 drive away, including 6-speaker sound system and driver and passenger airbags standard. It's the biggest deal in town at only $14,990 with absolutely nothing more to pay. For a limited time only, get into a Barina. $14,990 drive away, no more to pay at your Holden dealer now.
You belong. It's my team. I'm a part of it too. I'm a part of the team. It's my team. Show 'em you belong.
We say it just about every week here at Football Park, but a full house, a great atmosphere, and Dennis Rich is going to be leading the men in white tonight. Plenty of experience with Dennis. He's wearing number 3, wearing number 11 is Scott McLaren, and making up the trio, number 24 is Mark McKenzie. Well, on July 8 last year, the Bombers belted the Crows to the tune of 122 points. That day, the Crows were hoping to celebrate Chris McDermott's 100th. It wasn't a nice day. Let's hope they don't do that, King Curly, for Mark Bickley's 100th tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Sandy. Well, conditions down here are absolutely perfect for football. A dry turf. There is a light breeze going to the right of screen, I guess, favoured by maybe a goal, but there'll be goals scored into the breeze with the running game of today. Both teams play a similar style, which we know they like to keep possession as much as they can, the reflex give. But I think Essendon do chip the ball a bit more with their short football, you know, with their leg skills. So they'll be trying to do that. But both coaches will, Darren Jarman will certainly be picked up, and I think so too will Mazzetti. So it promises to be a real tough game of football, this one.
Yes, this should be a beauty, Curls. Thank you very much, and a good evening and a welcome to the microphone once again, Malcolm Blight.
Hi, Sandy. How are you?
I'm extremely well, Malcolm, with the game like this about to unfold, with Tony Modra back and Sean Wellman, an old teammate of his from his Crow days, standing in tonight.
It's interesting, you had the way, Sandy, quickly, the way that Adelaide have lined up going to the right of screen. They've loaded their flank on the right-hand side, left the left-hand side open.
Well, there is still the Adelaide Crows dugout with plenty of experience there. A huge roar goes up here at Football Park. It is the home side going to the right. Somerville hoping to start the Bombers away to the left. But it goes down towards Jarman at half-forward. He flicks it out, and suddenly they go down towards Modra and Wellman over the top as Wellman gets a hand to it. And the first score of the night is one behind, a lightning start as the young Bombers look on from their dugout. Dustin Fletcher, Gary O'Donnell, and it is Pryor who brings it back into the experienced Mark Harvey. All-Australian for a couple of years, gets it across to O'Donnell. Now the former cat, Sean Denham. Denham, like lightning, goes through the middle, down the wall, half-forward, and it's a beauty. Beautiful. So almost at half-forward, he'll put them inside 50. He's got a lead going down towards inside 50. Danaher pounces on the football. He loses. Hart's under a ton of pressure. Spills out the back door. They push it towards the boundary line, and Simons sees it over with Troy Bond.
It's interesting that Essendon used the ball long on that occasion. Denham, Hurd.
Yes, fine northerly winds, minimum temperature 14 and currently it's 17, so it's a beautiful night here in Adelaide. Bickley clever with evasive skills, kicks back to the centre of the ground, huge pack of players, comes off hand to Thompson, needs some support from behind, gets it in Wanganeen. Wanganeen back turns and then kicks the ball high, back towards centre half forward. Bickley attacks it and attacks it well.
Yes, he's a great player, Mark Bickley, and well done, reaching his 100th, just one of 3 players to have done so for the Crows. As it's locked up in the middle of the ground, about to take place. Plenty of encouragement being given to players on both sides. There's Ben Doolan, Robrin. He wears number 5. His father, of course, wore number 10 with great distinction for North Adelaide. It's the Bombers through Smoke and John Mercedes down towards Danaher at half-forward. What a start the Mercedes had to the year. Danaher again gets another possession. Down towards the forward line. They've still got it. Fraser's in trouble.
Well, actually, Chalmers really didn't commit himself then. What did you think, Malcolm? He was kind of a bit in no man's land.
Yes, I think that he realised that Fraser wasn't going to control the footy, so actually what he did was try and just knock him off balance rather than middle him.
But had he have gone a little, you think he could have gone a little bit earlier and met Fraser?
Yeah, it's one of those decisions you make quickly, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the former Magpie had a set shot at goal from 47 metres. It is a drop punt going into the square, going over the back and one behind. So a good tight opening here at Football Park.
Talking about numbers, Sandy, number 30 was worn by Jeff Lee. Now that's when I used to barrack for Essendon. He was a big, gentle giant, Jeff.
Did you barrack for Essendon?
My word, I used to follow them.
Chalmers brings it back into Jarman. Jarman goes to the outer side and a huge height advantage going the way of Pittman. David Pittman in his 60th game gets rid of it rather quickly, and now Jamison. Taking on the outer side. Looking to try and set up something. He goes back in with a left foot kick that doesn't have a lot of distance in it. Mercedes been to the hairdressers in the past week, and Mike Hattie's had a job done. Hart down towards half forward. This looks promising.
Well, lucky not to be 50.
Fans certainly want it. But Peter Caven.
Scott McLaren, the umpire here, he looks a little bit like Mark Knopfler, but it's not. Mark Knopfler with short hair.
And he didn't wear shorts.
Who? Mark. He was a great guitarist and is still a great guitarist.
This is Peter Caven, Don.
Good looking kick. There's the first goal of the night. Actually, he's been a real surprise, Patrick Caven.
He'd probably be saving himself money for nothing.
Who?
Peter Caven.
Why would he be saying that?
That's what Mark Knopfler did.
Well, what's Mark Knopfler got to do with Peter Caven? Well, you're on drugs. But anyway, I was just going to say that he's the... Let's go back to footy. He's the surprise packet up forward, Caven. Excellent.
Out in centre, Danaher kicks it forward on the left foot. Cockatoo Collins cleverly on to Hurd. Now running at its tool and caught high. Throws the ball out. Breaking away is Costa. Kicks it and finds Somerville in the centre of the ground. Somerville has Thompson out wide. Has to go back to Somerville. Jarman doing some fantastic work with some pressure and body. Great work from the Crows in the middle. Really have stopped 50 metres. And a free kick has gone the other way now. Pryor will take it, but it does take energy doing that. So Pryor in the Hurd direction. Smart right with him. What a contest that's going to be. Dives on it, pulls it back in underneath him. Can't get it handled on. Good. Is McCurry. And breaking away is Hart. Usually has good skills. Puts it out the front. Crows players lead at it. Terrific handball coming back from Modron. And Jarman finishes off to Edwards.
The little 1%er that didn't, a lot of people wouldn't have seen as Rasuto allowing Hart to get away.
Edwards kicks, doesn't find Robran. Fletcher called to play on. Now breaking away. Has some players out wide and finds Fraser.
He's still at half back. Oh, gee, this has been a tight, tough opening, as we would expect, as Doolan races away on the outer side. Ben Doolan goes towards Hurd, who's got to really stretch out with Nigel Smart, as usual, holding his hammer. And it's the Lama who gets a better bounce initially. Hurd back in it once again. He puts his body over it. You've lost it, James.
You're right, Melvin. That's going to be a fantastic contest, isn't it? Smart and Hurd. What a contest.
He goes to the outer side and Bond drifts it down towards left half forward. Pittman almost on the half volley. Fletcher will get it away. Cool, calm Harvey. Back towards half forward once again. The big fist is effective. Hart hopes to do the tidying up. He's on half back. Gives it away to Bond. Troy Bond round the body up towards the centre wing area. LaRue gets a bad bounce and Shea Cockatoo Collins evades one, then goes over the line. Great night for football. Very little breeze, a cool night. And a sense of great excitement and anticipation here tonight, because this game could really explode as Jamison charges through the middle. Has a look down towards Modra. Crowd went with him. Modra recovers. He gets caught at the second time. Ball spills free. Almost a free kick to Wanganeen, but he's skillful enough to get himself out of trouble and come to the half-back line. Mercedes is there, goes quickly onto the left foot, tumbling it back towards centre wing. Almost the perfect kick for Fraser. Fraser's now going to try and beat a couple of them. He'll lock it up, and he does so effectively, causing a bounce.
Tony Modra let his teammates down on that occasion. A chest mark, terrific reflex handball from Liptak, and what magic running from Jamison half-back, and the kick was sensational.
So Pittman from behind punches it forward. Forward is Thompson and grabs one high. And the crowd don't like it, but a free kick to Bomber Thompson. 4-year captain at Essendon, captain of a premiership side. Kicks out to Hurd. Oh, they're leaving a lot of space for Hurd. I know he's been in a game of footy, Nigel Smart, because this man is fit, super fit. Then with a burst of speed, brilliant play from Hurd. Kicks coming back and not quite far enough. So only a point results. And Essendon's second point But that is exciting, that contest already, Sandy.
Yes, it's just one of many around the ground. Chalmers will bring it back into play. Bond calling. He goes short. Jamison tucked in the back pocket. Now looks long to the outer side. Jarman making ground there but couldn't take it. Doolan was in front. Got the hand pass away. May go back to Doolan. He's still running, Ben Doolan. Pokes it along in front. This looks dangerous now for the Crows as they intercept and take it back towards the half-forward line. Now an opportunity again for Mercedes. Smoke and Joe goes in towards half-forward. Again, the Crow defence working hard. Look at Bond at the bottom of the pack. Again, it comes to Mercedes. He's in trouble. Denham now with a chance. Hurriedly onto the right. Where he kicks down towards half-forward. The defence, however, stands strong and Costa takes the mark. He's got Ellen on half-back. Calling for it. He's got it. Shane Ellen, just his 15th game. Comes up towards centre wing. Harvey's in front, unable to complete the mark. He's got Fraser there to assist. Together they combine. Harvey in trouble, but Dennis Rich says he was slung over the line. And so Mark Rashudo has given away a free kick to Fraser. The ball will come back.
And here's the replay. Good effort by Rashudo. I would have said play on. It's not a girls' game.
Well, Fraser has it. He goes up towards half-forward. Hart, the spoiler with one hand. Danaher waits down. He gives it across to O'Donnell. Gary O'Donnell looks down towards full forward. Good-looking kick too. No one able to take it off hands as the pack is there with Nigel Smart again leading the way. Tried to get it out. Simons has ripped off the football. Could have almost got a free kick. A chance for Mark McCurry. Gives it off to Hurd. A standing start. He looks towards goal. And the Bombers this time have got their first.
With a V6 engine more powerful than a Land Rover Discovery and Jeep Cherokee, it won't be just the city you'll leave behind in a Pajero. Please consider.
Now we return to the extreme adventures of Russell and Glenn.
Glenn? Aliens?
Friends? Foster's Light Ice for extreme refreshment.
Who has the most experienced football analysis in Adelaide? Neil Curley, that's who. So who does the footy better than 7, Neil?
Nobody.
The King Hit, Monday nights.
Nobody knows news like 7.
Next week, work cover horror stories.
I just don't know where to go.
South Australians speak out.
Most workers now live in fear.
How will your cover work for you?
It's as though they're waiting for me to die.
Today Tonight, next week.
Back in the middle, a very high tackle. Super high tackle there on Liptak. And Sean Denham gives away the free for Essendon. Has a player out wide. Bickley trying to find Modra. Coming over the back and interrupting that play was Fletcher. Ends up back with Fletcher. Tremendous pressure. Great pressure from McLeod. Set up that kick to fall short to Pittman.
Actually, that's not bad play by Pittman, is it? Because he was in there contesting the ruck work deep on the forward line. That's excellent play. I saw him do a terrific job down at Geelong I think it was last year, Pittman. He really did follow the ball up and the centre bounced down on the forward line. It was excellent play. Shows a lot of mobility for a ruckman, this man.
Yes, he's kicked 4 goals this year too. He is moving forward. Of course, him and Wren worked in tandem. Going to kick this from 40 metres. Usually a pretty good kick. It's no exception. That's their second goal. So David Pittman gets his first. move away by 5 points.
And Essendon made a change. Denimo's off and Hardwick has come on. And he will see here Pittman. There's a lot of pressure being applied here. That was well done by McLeod, but there's Pittman. And big fellows don't respond unless they're given the #1 mantle. And Pittman certainly has responded since being given that mantle.
Crows by 5 points. Pittman wins it again, but can they win it out of the centre? Look at Mercedes working hard. He's still at the bottom of the pack. This time there'll be another bounce.
Young man from Keilor Park. Is that a 2 or a 1? I think it's a 1, Sandy. We'll find out from Neil Curley, or nearly.
From the bounce. Flicked out towards Mercedes illegally, said the umpire. It was thrown out. So it's going to be a Crows ball.
You can't agree with that one, Tom, surely.
No, I don't actually.
Ellen, anyway, took it down towards the half-forward line. Bond receives the hand pass, kicks them inside 50. Modra! Couldn't take it. Wanganeen. Look at the talent in that defence. Caught. It's gone. A prior ball when he played for them last year. Now Robram. He's just outside 50. Goes in towards Jarman.
He should be pinned for that. He's pushed.
Andrew Jarman.
Well, Mark Thompson remonstrating. He's got every right to remonstrate. Watch this. I hope we can get this. Watch Jarman. Look, if that's not a free kick, I'll go he.
Well, you're he, Don, because he has it and he's goal.
Count to 100 and we'll go home. Well, if it was my ball, I'd go home because that wasn't a free kick. And look, pushing, they say use of the body, pushing off. That is hands in the back. Exactly right, Mark Thompson. Nonetheless, it's on the board.
So 11-point margin to the Crows. Pushed forward by Pittman. Running hard is Hardwick. Kicks the ball forward. Simons taps it on cleverly. Flicks O'Donnell with the air. Smart taps it out wide. Terrific play. Can't get hold of it is Ellen. Really under enormous pressure. Hardwick goes back into the centre. Big fly from behind, not taken. Out to Hurd. Surely James Hurd will finish. And he hasn't, he's missed.
What they're doing, Malcolm, is putting Hurd in for the bounce down. O'Donnell's running down on the half-forward line, and the reason that Hurd was by himself is because he's drifting back into that position. So he's only going into the centre, then he goes back forward, and that's why he was unmarked on that occasion.
4 effective scoring shots apiece for goal as Chalmers brings it back in towards Bond, but it is the Crows by 10 points.
Their only goal kicker, Sandy, James Hurd, 1-2.
Here's Bond towards centre wing, a big pack of players. Jamison was at the back, but he couldn't take it. Fletcher's run out of room. Great pressure, and he's put it out on the full. Sheer persistence.
Good chasing here, and it's actually good work by Fletcher too. That was a good passage of play by both players, Robram and Fletcher.
Jamison again. And Bond, a high ball up towards the centre of the ground. Jarman waiting down. Look at that. Beautifully out to the roo. Retreat towards Mudra. That's down.
Good effort. It's a harder mark, that one, than the one that Jamison gave him. Excellent delivery here by Rashudo. He's got an awkward kicking style. It's not a real fluid kicking style, Rashudo. Here he is. It's not a walk-up start for this man anymore. He's got to earn his place in the side.
Average is just under 4 goals a game, and that will not help the old average so much. 1 behind. 3-2 plays 1-3.
Kick in. Has to go back because the goal umpire hadn't finished waving the flags. You think that's a good rule, Don?
Yes, I do. Malcolm? Why? Oh, I don't know. I don't know why they make half the rules. I'd throw the whistle away, but I'm just going along with the night. Been on some of that stuff you gave me before. What is it, a green weed?
Great kick to Thompson. Contest again. Robin makes front position, falls to O'Donnell, and cleverly taps it to the boundary line.
You'd be happy now they're going to legalise in the Victorian. Been here for a while.
What are you talking about? Here we go. Boundary throw in, 75 metres around from the Adelaide goals. Falls to Fraser. Chips it. Danaher best spot and does well to mark in front of Jamison. So Chris Danaher goes towards Hurd. Why wouldn't you? Pack of players there with him. To Hardwick. Oh! Got in by Jarman. Absolutely put him down. Great support though. Ellen to Jarman. Has to kick up the pressure and Somerville sits and waits. Enough pressure there from Pittman. McLeod. Wadra back in the goal square. Certain goal coming up for the Crows.
I'm questioning that effort by Somerville. Why would he jump and try and mark like he did?
Well, I think the idea is to try and get your knee up and protect yourself while you're waiting for that. And it was a lovely look from McLeod to find Modra. Just great awareness. And Tony Modra, welcome back. He's kicked the goal.
He looks a little fitter, doesn't he? Modra seems to have lost a bit of weight. His face is a little bit more gaunt than what it used to be, but I suppose that's a sign of fitness when you're long and gaunt in the face and an indication of how fit you are. He does look really fit, Modra. But then again, Somerville's effort trying to take that chest mark left a bit to be desired.
Adelaide chant goes up again. It's 26 plays 9 as Tony Modra says, I'm back in town for the moment. Somerville and O'Donnell try to get it out. Pittman is there as well, but it's Jarman who comes away. He spirals it in towards half forward, almost the mark to Caven. Oh, they're starting to really blow it around now. Jarman from 50. Jarman fires for goal. He's kicked another one. 2 goals to Andrew Jarman.
And the work done there by Tyson Edwards. A good effort also by Caven. Caven put his body there, but then Tyson Evans. Look at Evans come through there. Showed a lot of speed, didn't he? Bang, out it went. Bad handball. But there it was, mopped up by Jarman. His second. Oh, this game's great.
Super awareness there from Jarman. He really must have known, just felt the goals. Robert Shaw looks on. Great start here by the Crows. Getting the ball out the middle. Oh, that was better from Somerville. Running there, hitting hard. Super to lip pack. Plenty of pressure on it, this defence from Essendon. Over the back. First to recover, Jarman off the ground and into the post. So great excitement from everyone, all the Crows fans at that end of the ground. And Kevin Sheedy scratches to contemplate.
Gary O'Donnell barking instructions as Pryor will bring it back into play. A vital 6 minutes left in this first quarter. He picks out Bomber Thompson, finds him in the back pocket. Been a grand player at Windy Hill. Wanganeen chips towards Somerville. Robert edged him out. That allowed Rashuto through. It's a high kick. No one at home, however. Jarman holds up Pryor. He'll take it in the back pocket.
Hurd now, is he playing across half back? Hurd.
O'Donnell is running through that position now. Kicks up over the centre. Courage required here.
Hurd seems to be playing a loose man, Sandy, across half back.
Costa to Jamison. Speaking of loose players, there's one out on the outer side. That's Tyson Edwards. He chips into Jarman. And Andrew Jarman, who's copped a bit through the press during the week because of what happened in the melee and how it may affect his brother's chances in the medal that are now gone. He's certainly playing with great skill and discipline in this first quarter. This for his third goal from 52 metres. It's a lovely long kick, but it's missed. 2-1. Out of 5 goals for.
Both the Jarman boys now have got 13 goals apiece for the season in round 4 minutes. You wouldn't think that would happen, would you? You wouldn't have made money on that. Wanganeen, great build-up here to Fraser. Really is quite indecisive sometimes. Wants to run. Oh! He gives it up. And that's that indecision.
Well picked.
And Hardwick gets the free kick. But he always wants to run with the footy, and perhaps just the ordinary play sometimes just tricks him. But he's young, and I guess you can still learn. Hardwick, the centre half forward.
Thompson coming off and
Huge
Denham on.
players. Falls to Ellen, who overruns it. Hart there to support. Very cool. Terrific to Bond. Squeezes it round the side and Liptak. Has players in the middle. It's Ellen. Ellen now goes. Hurd should mark this. Over the back. Great contest from behind from Modra. Falls to Jarman and he's kicked another one. Third goal to Andrew Jarman in a scintillating quarter here from the Adelaide Crows.
Well, you know what happened there? They made a change, Essendon, and Hardwick went across here onto Jarman. Hurd was going out with Jarman, or Hurd had Jarman earlier, and maybe just that indecision or that change there caught them out, the two players out, and Jarman's capitalised.
Boss Thompson on the bench. Suddenly the margin is 31 points with under 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Pittman has a big run at Somerville, but it's the latter who gets it out towards O'Connell. O'Donnell goes further down towards the 50. It's a cruel bounce. Bond comes charging through and he does it beautifully to the Roo. He gets it out wide to Jamison and the Crows start their attack from defence again. Up towards half forward. Robin's got to make ground. Wanganeen is very, very skillful. The Brownlow medalist of 93 finds Ben Doolan on halfback. This has been a big first quarter. Prime. Still across halfback. Can come across the ground to Hardwick. Looking to set something up. He kicks to a congested half-forward line. Hurd was in the pack, and he is still in the pack down there, but going nowhere. Mark Bickley, game number 100 on the left. Come on, James. He's in his 68th game.
That's interesting, isn't it? Attack of this. Adelaide.
Somerville again going at it in the ruck. Rashuto politely asking a question, and Sean Denham just has a look who was on top of him, picks himself up.
James Hurd still a loose man down across half back.
Somerville and Pittman. A couple came in to congest it. Jarman will set them going again, and here comes Nigel Smart. He's run from half back. Look out, he's in trouble there. They haven't lost it. Tyson Edwards goes in to make amends. Pittman gets hopelessly caught. Well tackled. Well, he took the punt trying to get through. Wasn't successful, and Fraser claimed him. Under 2 minutes, and the Bombers would love a couple of quick goals here. 31 points is the margin. Somerville in the pack. Ooh, Liptak went over the top. There was no free kick. Wellman goes down towards full forward, but Jarman is there again. That's Darren. Kick number 5 to the outer side. Doolan gives chase, but
That is just an excellent kick. No, the kick was the thing. That was just fantastic. That kick was fantastic.
It wasn't a bad mark.
It's great skills all round. Chips it off to Pittman. And Pittman on centre wing. Roblin leads wide. Fletcher right with him. Pressure. Knocks it in front of him. Coming at it, Edwards, who's done a couple of smart things. Caught under pressure and the ball is forced out of bounds. So down to the last 57 seconds in great start here from Adelaide. And Sheedy's dropped one back. Just try and stop this onslaught, I think, and have a rethink for quarter time. The ball's punched out. Costa also punches it back towards the line, and another throw-in will result.
Interesting, Malcolm, that Nigel Smart's gone back and playing in front of Hurd on the back line, the forward line for Adelaide.
There's Kevin Sheedy coming down there. And he's caught. So the two big fellas to Mercedes, caught. Pryor taps it back to McLeod. Pretty unproductive piece of play as it forced over the boundary line.
The pace in this Adelaide side with McLeod, Liptak and Tyson Edwards.
Somerville and Pittman again. Ryan O'Connor at the back. Hardwick in front. Jarman on it. And that's gone.
Why would it go that way?
That wasn't nice what he just said. He's asking the same question. Bottom line is that Hardwick has it in the back pocket. Drifts it towards centre wing. Pittman was the flyer, but his opposing ruckman Sumble comes away with a hand pass towards James Hurd. Hurd now floats it back towards half forward. Precious seconds ticking away for Daniher, who played on. Spills free towards Ryan O'Connor. Tumbles it down to half forward. No mark taken as Cockatoo Collins runs into trouble. Gives it away to Harvey, who snaps a goal, but it's wide, very wide, and it's out of bounds. Standing ovation for these Crows. Have a listen to this. But it's only quarter time. 51 points is the margin. With the Jarman boys again in scintillating form. Andrew in particular in front of goal. He has booted at 3 as Chalmers and Jamison walk to the huddle. Kevin Sheedy waits for his charges to arrive, as they do now. The job is ahead of Essendon, even though it is only quarter time. And a purposeful walk by the Crows. The first quarter scoreboard reading Adelaide 6-4 of 40. Essendon 139.
I got a 40 game to go to. 40's on, 40's here again. Back to greet me like an old friend then. Well, that's a...
UltraTune's in tune with you and your car. In fact, 98% of our customers were satisfied or extremely satisfied with UltraTune's service and repairs in responses to a recent survey of RAA-approved mechanical repairer customers. And the other 2%? Well, we're working on it. UltraTune, in tune with you and your car. 15 locations, all endorsed by the RAA.
Expo 96 is coming to Wayville. See huge furniture displays, home and garden ideas, all for just $2 admission, with great savings at special Expo prices. There's something for everyone, including Gardens Alive at Adelaide International Expo.
Right now, you probably have some insurance with one company.
Morning.
Some with another insurer.
Morning.
And some with yet another.
Morning.
Whereas you could have all your insurances at one place.
Morning.
SGIC.
Morning. Morning.
And get a much better deal.
Okay, I'd like 12 months cover for my car. My house. My life. So, what can you do for me? Deb, what's the deal?
12 months on 3 different kinds of insurance. Well, how about a 3 months cover on each insurance?
3 months? Hey.
Or you might prefer 10% off the combined premiums.
10%? Oh, I like that. I'll take the 3 months extra cover. Yeah, the 3 months. No way. Take the 10% discount.
Well, it's up to you which option you take.
Definitely the 3 months. 10%. The 3 months.
The more insurances you have with SGIC,
the 3 months.
The more you save.
No, it's just I'll take the 3 months.
SGIC. We'll see you through.
A game that's lasted longer than me. I'd like to see that.
This winter at Peter Shearer Menswear, we let our clothes do the talking.
Look out! 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 Look out for the man who goes by the name Peter Shearer!
Peter Shearer Menswear, Rundle Mall.
Look out! Look out! Look out! Look out!
On Witness with Jana Wendt, our special investigation names a prominent high flyer. his sex life with underage boys.
You had sex with him?
A name that will rock the political establishment.
Somebody has to do it.
Plus peace in the Middle East.
Do you care about the so-called peace process?
Does it really stand a chance?
Peace seems a very long way off.
Jana Bent reports from the heart of the turmoil when Holden presents Witness, 9:30 Tuesday on 7.
Only one multiple scorer on the ground today, that being Andrew Jarman, who booted 3 goals in an exciting first quarter here at Football Park. The Crows are 6-4-40, leading Essendon 1-3. Plenty of concern, Neil Curley, for Kevin Sheedy in that first term.
Yes, it was interesting to watch both coaches there. Kevin Sheedy spent a lot of time over the board with his hands, making a lot of moves, so expect some positional change from Essendon, whereas Robert Shaw, on the other hand, didn't worry about the board. He was just demanding that his players keep it flat, a real strong pressure, forcing Essendon players into mistakes. And I think the Melbourne viewers will see why the Crows are playing better football this year. They're much harder at the ball. Their tackling and harassing is a lot better than Essendon at this stage, but it's only one quarter, and I'd expect Essendon to come back pretty hard.
Thank you, Curls. Yes, I'm sure they will, because they are a class outfit as well, the Bombers. Under coach Kevin Sheedy in his 16th year at Windy Hill. An amazing record, and has Dennis Rich.
And Pittman's got someone running at a 90-degree angle at him too.
Yes, he has. So let's see what happens here as they both charge at the football. Swings towards 100 gamer Bickley, trying to get it out towards Jarman, but intercepted by O'Donnell. Flicks it round the corner, but only as far as Jamison.
Actually, Pittman lined him up to make it 180 on that occasion, but he was coming at 90 earlier.
Smart goes towards half forward. Jarman tries to edge out again. That was on Hardwick. Short to Doolan. Somerville gives it away towards Mercedes, back to Doolan, back to Hardwick. A high, wobbly punt that doesn't have great distance, but a good fingertip mark taken by Danaher. Just forward of the centre. Bombers looking to get the first couple. Fletcher was a flyer and may have accentuated it a little. But he gets a free kick for a push. What do you think, Bob?
Well, the thing about this Essendon side is that players are prepared to move around in different positions. Now, Fletcher here started at centre-half back and Hurd went back, and they've got to try and do something to get themselves back into the game. Now he's up at centre-half forward, and there's a tall at centre-half forward, which will give them a little bit more point going and fading to the right, but at least give them another tall up there with O'Connor, who started full forward. And there it is, the free kick. In front position was Fletcher.
Ben Hart bring it back into play. 6-4 plays 1-4. Picks out to Kim Costa, who's settled very nicely into this lineup. Here's Mark Bickley. Gee, does he lead by example? Back to Jamison. They've got it almost in towards the middle. Liptak is there. Has a look down towards the centre and drifts it right down to Jarman.
Well, what Essendon are doing, you've got O'Connor going with Pittman, but Pittman's offering the lead.
Look at this kick. What a good kick, though.
Now, what's happening? Somerville, O'Connor seems to be picking up Pittman because obviously he's running Somerville around a bit. But Somerville's still on the ball. So that's an interesting one. Somerville not marking anybody at this stage. Now, whether Pittman, O'Connor has just seen that Pittman's loose and has run down with him.
60th game for David Pittman. And again having to shoulder the responsibility with the absence of Sean Ream. And he has stepped into the breach. He's done it pretty well. This for his second, and the Crows 7th. Look at that. Straight through the middle.
So maybe O'Connor's playing at centre-half forward. We'll just try and pick all this up. But it was an excellent lead by Pittman. O'Connor was with him earlier when the two of them were on centre wing, but I suppose bad marking by O'Connor, just a lapse in concentration.
Yeah, wonderful skills then from Darren Jarman on the left foot. Not many players could kick it 50 metres. Back in the centre. Got it forward to Liptak. Had to run the crunch. Did it pretty well. Followed up beautifully. And then gave the ball away to Doolan. Kicks it with his left foot. pack of players, great smothering, ends up back with lip tack. Really did deserve that. Puts it out on the path in the cloud. Two good little players here. Wanganeen goes to ground, fights a second and a third time. Fantastic stuff, Gavin Wanganeen. Kicks towards the boundary line, and Danaher uses his body well on Bond. He goes onto his left foot, cutting across his Jamison. Read it beautifully.
Now, Connor is playing a centre-half forward. Jamison's picking him up.
Kicks Rashudo. They really are controlling the pace of this game too, the tempo. Now slows it down. Kicks. Jarman from behind, almost over Hardwick, to McLeod, exciting on the ground. Chips the ball in front. Robin through those two players through Berbatov. First to recover back is Wellman. Trying to set this out and kicks it out very wide indeed.
Somerville is off and Barry Young has come on to replace him. But it's the Crows at the moment have possession. Harvey unable to take a diving mark. And it's out of bounds on the outer side.
So O'Connor's now gone onto the ball. Hurd's gone to centre-half forward. Young probably go half-forward flank.
Pittman again, leaning. Hardwick towards the boundary line. O'Connor does the shepherding work to that field. Jarman will get in. Again, sheer persistence.
Seems to be has picked up a yard in pace, Jarman. There's Jarman. First time I've seen Adelaide. Actually seems to have picked up a yard. Not a quick player, usually across the ground, Jarman.
Fire in once more to Hardwick. Bomber's rattled at the moment, 7-5 to 1-4, and the look of frustration on the face of Damien Hardwick. Where can I go? Who isn't covered? Well, he can chip short to Wellman. Wellman in turn to Wanganeen. He's still on the half-back flank. Wanted Doolan. It was a little too far for him. Jamison thought about Rodman. But the number 5 said, no, go back and take the kick. So he does. Beautifully done. Darman will get there. Going to be paid the football just outside 50. He's got Modra down there in the square. And away he goes towards Chalmers. Couldn't take it cleanly. Hardwick takes the hand pass, gives it over towards Mark Harvey. He's got a ton of courage and he needed it there because Bentley was there. He caught one as well. It's tough out there at the moment, but so it should be as they go charging towards Bond.
Actually, Bentley's putting his body pretty hard, especially in at the centre bounces.
Great shepherding allows Darren Jarman to kick the ball to Modra. Hardwick stuff. I was just thinking that build-up before Don with Hardwick. He just wouldn't play the line, would he? He wanted to go short all the time.
But he's a little bit, you get a little bit anxious, don't you? Well, I do when Hardwick gets the ball because you don't know what he's going to do with it.
Tony Modra, kick the one. It's been a reasonable start for him. The ball's been down there a lot. Deliberate shot. The crowd's only half happy because it's split the woodwork in half. So a point to Adelaide, extend their lead by 38 points. But it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, he wouldn't kick the footy unless there was a player on, and I guess that's the psyche of the Essendon players.
Fire goes to the outer side, marked by Ryan O'Connor. Rhino. Long towards centre wing, but he's pinpointed Nigel Smart. And he takes it unopposed. Down to Pittman. They head back into that danger zone again. Oh, there's some holding on going on there between Wellman and Modra. The umpire maybe decided it was happening from both. Hardwick chips wide. That's gone out of bounds. Is it on the full? No, it was touched. Just touched. So a throw in on that outer side. O'Connor may have to do the work here.
You see the off too, Sandy, and Cockatoo Collins on.
Wanganeen. Back in towards the centre, towards Hurd, who comes sprinting out, but he's solidly met. The ball spills through. Oh, Smart clash with Doolan, and it's going to be a free kick to the Crows.
And Smart made it a little bit worse than what it actually was.
He's on centre wing. Not a lot of movement down forward, so he gives it to Jarman, who uses the ball so magnificently and precisely. This time he picks out Robrin. He goes back to Jamison. Wanting to set something up. He looks down to this forward line. They're running everywhere. He goes back to Jarman, and maybe this is what he wanted. Jarman is 50 metres out. He heads for home with a long kick to fall forward. Off hands it comes towards Wanganeen. Threads his way through heavy traffic and then says, let's concede it behind.
Yeah, it's exciting build-up, and Jarman almost, I thought he might have gone for the torpedo then and tried it on the run. Essendon under enormous pressure here. To O'Donnell from the kick-out. Jarman chasing honestly, though. The ball's kicked back into the centre. Bombers players everywhere. They really will make... Have they made a mess of this? I'm sure they will. No. Excellent. McCurry settles it down. O'Connor under pressure. Back to McCurry. Really trying to get something going. Has to force to kick it in the air. Players sit and wait. Smart does the punching. Cockatoo Collins underneath. Coming at it. A lot of players. Terrific stuff from Bond. Chalmers breaks away, uses the footy beautifully, and finds Edwards. So Tyson Edwards, players on, short. Seems to be 100 crows.
Yeah.
And a very ordinary tackle has given away the free kick. A lot of players there gone through that midfield.
Well, Wanganeen was just standing there, wasn't he? And really didn't seem to be interested. And then he follows it on, but it wasn't a really good kick.
Neither was that one from Mark Harvey. Robrin gives it away to Caven. In trouble. Around the body he goes. Let's play in towards full forward, waiting at the back. Tony Modrin.
Got a feeling he's going to kick a few tonight.
1 to date. Average is just under 4 a game, and he's got to thread it through there, Donald, for number 2.
Problem for him from there.
4 marks, 3 kicks, and 1 goal, 2 to date. Well, he's running around, and it's not a problem, Don. He put it straight through.
With over $2,000 of added value, including an electric sunroof, CD stacker, and unique escape badging. The quickest way to escape the urban jungle is in a 3.5-litre double overhead cam Mitsubishi Pajero Escape. Please consider.
Qantas Autumn Sale. Huge savings to places like Melbourne, just $169 return. Or Sydney, only $269 return. Better hop to it. Sale ends May 2. Call your licensed or active travel agent or Qantas now.
There are many war films that have been called great, but viewers and critics agree just one can truly be called the greatest. On 7 for the first time with the superb new digital master, Steve McQueen, in the performance of his career, is joined by the biggest screen legend you'll ever see in a daring adventure based on the incredible true event. Watch it while you can, and you could be riding away on a Harley Davidson. A Great Escape, 8:30 Sunday on 7.
Out the centre, Hurt gets a kick, throws it forward. Ball bounces awkwardly. Smart, his opponent, stays back and kicks it out wide to Jarman. There are absolutely plenty wide. He unloads it quickly because he sees Pittman. Pittman in space, chips Modra, Wellman right with him. Great kick.
Should be a free kick anyway.
But Pittman's the problem. See, there's Pittman once again. Now, he contested the ruck work, going down on the forward line. And he is a very mobile ruckman, David Pittman, having played at centre-half forward for a number of years until the injury to Wren last year.
So Tony Modra kicks from 35 metres, starts to drift across, and unfortunately, great build-up again from the Crows, that pushes the margin out to 46 points now. It's getting 46 years. That's getting a bit dangerous at the moment. Just over 10 minutes to go of the second quarter.
Michael Pryor, the young man from East Perth, brings it back into James Hird. He has a look almost down towards the centre. O'Connor has a look to centre half forward. Cockatoo Collins at the back of that pack. Had it, but only for a moment. Bond puts it out in front of Rashudo, who's been a little quiet, but when you get bounces like that, it makes it difficult. Jarman, on the other hand, has been quite spectacular. Oh, and so is his brother! Sensational. To the half-forward line. And this is 100 game of Bickley. Giving it back. Jamison spears the pass that is partly smothered. Denham back towards the centre. Bad bounce for James Hird, but he's quick to recover. Jarman is there. Caught one. Ducked his head. Play on, said the umpire. So his brother does. Gives it back to him. They go down towards the half-forward line, and Pittman comes out 10 metres ahead of O'Connor. Cockatoo Collins comes in from the side, but he gets his kick. Some high flyers needed. Robin flew high. Picked up by McLeod. That's never gone. There's another one. Oh, the Crows are hot. 9-8. Plays 1-4.
Well, I think it's just going to be a matter of how far David Pittman once again. Look, he's the problem. Drifting down across half forward. O'Connor really will have to tighten up. An excellent kick, a snap by McLeod. He's a player that, as I mentioned, has got a lot of place. He, Edwards, and also Liptak. Very quick on the forward line now, the Crows.
See, who would have thought that the Bombers at this stage of the game would have had one goal? Pittman over the top. Jarman's been just absolutely brilliant and will take that free kick.
No place for the weak-hearted in that centre square at the moment.
Just his vision is brilliant for Costa. Trying to control it. Now has to go for the bounce. Forces himself in. Not strong on the left foot, but wobbles it forward and kicks a point. Amazing. So, Kim Costa, 53 point. Don Essendon.
What are they going to do? Well, they've done it, haven't they? They've shifted players everywhere. They've got Fletcher now at centre half forward. Hurd's gone across half. Well, he was across half forward line, but they've got a smaller line with Young, Danaher, and Cockatoo Collins across there now.
Damien Hardwick. At half-back goes short towards Denham. Sean Denham plays on to Hurd. Now Harvey. Wobbly old punt towards Cockatoo Collins on centre wing. He gives chase, but Bond is there with him. What a duel. What a duel. Look at them. Grand work. Finally, it's Fraser who picks it up and gets it out to Denham. He goes towards the 50. Jamison is an effective spoiler. Another fierce tackle. Sees it spill the ball out towards Jarman. Back it goes to Jamison. Jamison straight up in the air to Liptak. Liptak from half-back and go into the middle and Rashudo. If it's 6, the Roos in business. Away he goes towards half-forward. Out in front of Peter Caven. He gets another bad bounce. There have been some poor ones tonight on both sides. And Wanganeen steadies for a moment at half-back. Drifted in towards centre wing. Smart almost got in front but couldn't take it. Rashudo comes in over the top of Hurd. And they've given away a free kick.
Well, Somerville's warming up to come on. I don't know who he is going to replace.
He finds Cockatoo Collins still outside 50. Quickly on towards Gary O'Donnell. Is this the Bombers' second goal? No! It's wide. It's wide.
Quickly on. Andrew Jarman belts it at Costa and he accepts it on the chest. Yes, they really can't win a ball across half forward. First one they've won for a while, and just couldn't score. Great fist from behind for Harvey. And there's O'Donnell. And a free kick will be given as Caven goes into the back of O'Donnell. Right in front of the members. They're not very happy here at Crowland, but certainly was there. O'Donnell goes long. Hurd with the set and does it pretty comfortably. Has to play on, confronts Smart, gets around. Great second effort from Smart. Great second effort from Hurd. Gee, that's fantastic stuff to Doolan. Wants to know what to do with it and eventually kicks it. He looked to the front of the goal square a few times and really gave up the ball with a pretty average point.
Now, Somerville's come on the ground and Simons has gone off, but where Somerville goes, he seems to be going across half forward play. Will be staying in the on the ball.
Looks as though Joe Mercedes is going to come back onto the ground too. As he warms up, Jamison goes to the outer side. Robrin has created space. Just flicks it away. It goes up towards Harple. That's not a good kick. Hardwick should have taken it. He didn't, but he does have support from Fraser. Gets it back out towards Hardwick. Again, he gets claimed. Not before he gives it to Berbatov. A high kick up towards half forward. 3 Crows.
Doolan off too for Essendon and Mercedes coming on.
Bond gives it away towards Allen. Players picking up possessions at will on that outer side, but this time Somerville halts the right. Now, Joe Mercedes just come out onto the ground and he may get a touch here, although he'll have to put his skates on. Gets a favourable bounce, then goes to ground. Well done by Jarman. Jarman snaps in towards the pocket. The bounce clean bowls McLeod. Tries to soccer it away from Wanganeen, who's very, very talented. Wellman goes in to give him assistance. It finishes with Wanganeen again. Ricochets off his arm, however, and over the line. There's Ben Doolan, who's just come onto the bench and been replaced. Edwards caught. Pittman soccers off the ground. It goes down towards half forward. Denham is there. He gives it to Somerville. Somerville steadies and will hopefully get the Bombers out of trouble.
Goes to Hardwood. Has to come back. He really is indecisive and puts his teammates under enormous pressure. But the kick finds Denham. And once again, the Bombers just don't like releasing the footy unless there's a player on the end of it. Once again, there's a leading player rather than kick to a pack. Falls to Hart. His half back line's really mopped up. Back we go. Great jump from behind from Berbatov. Wanganeen recovers beautifully. Gives it to Somerville. Off to Berbatov again. He goes wide with a terrific kick to Danaher. And so the Bombers, for the second time really in 10 minutes, can they set something up? Kick. Fletcher goes early. Gives it to Hurd. Hurd stops. Caught. Ducks. And that is holding the ball. And a correct decision. Smart. Plays on. Goes wide. Prosciutto's got time. Young on the ground. Comes at him. Great pressure from that player and forced out of bounds. Hurd worked pretty hard. He's been up and down the ground and not a lot of Bombers players in support at the moment.
Nipesh on. And Price and Edwards off to the Crows.
So 3 goals this quarter. Fletcher snaps out of the pack and not a lot of noise there. I think this is a goal. Yep. It is.
Well, young Dustin Fletcher showing the skill that he has as a ruckman. He used to play in that position when I think it was the Calder Cannons he played for in the under-19s. And here he is, one hand, bang for goal. The tall fellow playing now at, well, he was playing at full forward. Now across half forward.
3-5 to 1-2 in favour of the Adelaide Crows in this quarter, as the Bombers finally get their second goal through the agency of the man who plays most in defence, Dustin Fletcher. Jamison. Cross half back out in front of Liptak. Look at them running down here. Well, they could stop for a chat if they want to. But no, he drifted in towards half forward. O'Donnell, not trying to spoil Caven from behind, allows the Crow to get a short kick. Wellman rides one bump, twists out of another, gives it across to Berbatov. He's on half back, goes to Fraser on centre wing. Fraser marks and he's away. He glides across that wing, looks towards half forward. Cockatoo Collins waits at the back. It doesn't come out for him, however. Nigel Smart gives it away to Bickley. Bickley's got time to steady, and he's got players on the outer side again. Pittman can give it to the Roo, and Rashudo's away. Casually, across centre wing, up towards Robrin. He's in front of Berbatov and takes the mark.
game. Just got the feeling it's lost that little bit of sting or intensity with the Crows really in control now.
Caven directly in front, and 45 out.
Here's Robram. Caven, who started half forward, went down half back just towards the end of the first quarter. He's got a chance to register his second goal.
From 46 metres. There's another one.
As I said, the sting's really gone out of this game. The Crows, when the ball's bounced in that centre square, they really do throw their bodies in. And the one who really does set the way as a captain tonight, Mark Bickley. And it's a real sign of how a team is, the way they put themselves in or throw themselves into the ball as to how they're going to go in the rest of the game.
Yes, and the margin really creeping out now, and reminiscent of that game in '93 in the preliminary final, of course, when it was 12-12 to 6-6 at half-time. Not quite that for the Crows, but it's also not quite that for the Essendon side. Ball's pushed wide. They've been beaten wide, and Danaher off the ground. Mercury will be first there. Sits up nicely for him. Now chips the ball in towards Hurd. Smart's right with him. Goes hard at the footy. All players do here. Given off to Danaher. Sells the dummy, comes back inside. Great handball and gets them out of it. Now O'Donnell kicks it up high and the ball will fall short and fall to shot Cockatoo Collins. It kicks it on the outside of his boot and unfortunately really
we're going to see something really miraculous there.
It would have had to come back at about 181 degrees and I think that's impossible, Don. So Rod Jamieson creeping up. 97 games now.
So they've got a few that are going to join the 100 club coming up in the next month.
Kick it wide, standing his ground is Pittman in front and is happy to see it over the line. So the Crows with an exciting first half and just over 2 minutes to go. Robert Shaw coming down to have a look on the ground.
Andrew Jarman, another one on his 97 tonight.
Yes, getting the experience. They probably require to win one. Quick kick, and has that been paid as a free kick? I think it has. So most things going the Crows' way. In fact, Kim Costa, centre wing, prepared to kick to the pack.
With just a couple of minutes remaining, and important minutes too. For Essendon, Pryor goes in towards half forward. Great use of the body by Nigel Smart. Fantastic. Plays on quickly, putting it out towards the half-back flank. Ellen is there. He's caught. He needs help. He goes over the top towards Bickley. Bickley gives a little ground. Chalmers is clean ball. Cockatoo Collins gives it away to O'Connor. The Rhino kicks down towards full forward. They need a mark. Danaher is there, but he can't. Good work against him. And he in turn tidies up to apply the pressure to Hart and hold that football up in that zone for a throw-in.
Hart's back to his best too.
Can they capitalise? Well, they've got it down there. O'Connor and Chalmers. Hurd towards Fletcher. Fletcher just tries to spoon it out towards Cockatoo Collins. And again, over the line.
The boundary throw-in, 35 metres around from the Essendon goal. They really need to produce something here. Give them some hope. Goes to Hurd. To Mercedes onto his left foot. Swings it back. And unfortunately is missed. So the 6 point to Essendon. Gives them 18 total. Adelaide 10-9. So down to the last minute. Chalmers goes short and finds Jamieson. Comes back inside to Bond. Bond has to wait. Now goes back and sets up the running Jamieson.
His kick is a real worm burner down towards Peter Caven. But he has support in Rashudo to Pittman almost into the middle. Rashudo's still running. Still going wider. He comes to Ellen. Spotted him wide. Look out as Fraser gives chase. But Ellen swings back inside. Goes towards half forward. Precious seconds tick away, particularly for the Bombers. They don't want to see the Crows score again before half-time, and maybe they'll be okay. As Fraser thought about the hand pass, eventually gave it away to Somerville on towards Sean Denham. Denham through the centre towards Herd territory at half-forward. Smart over the back, didn't punch, tried to mark and almost did. Jamieson finds Bond. Cleverly goes to the outer side. A bit of space, a bit of time, because there'll be a throw-in, maybe. With 1 second to go. They will throw it in, but that's all. Pittman and Somerville contest for a moment, but it's half-time. An excellent first half of football from the Adelaide Crows, where they've really blitzed the Bombers here at Football Park. And the question now of Essendon trying to catch them if they can, Don.
Well, it's the case of catch-up football centre. They're just chasing tail at the moment, but the example was set really in that first quarter when the Crows, gee, they were intense on that ball, especially when the ball was bounced in the centre. It was real hard body stuff, and things started to come their way. And Pittman, the big fellow there, offering encouragement, he's the fellow that's really setting them alight. We see there at half-time, Adelaide leading quite easily, 10-9, 69, Essendon 2-6, 18.
With a V6 engine more powerful than a Land Rover Discovery and Jeep Cherokee, it won't be just the city you'll leave behind in a Pajero. Please consider.
Expo 96 is coming to Wayville. See huge furniture displays, home and garden ideas, all for just $2 admission, with great savings at special Expo prices. There's something for everyone, including Gardens Alive at Adelaide International Expo.
Right now, you probably have some insurance with one company.
Morning.
Some with another insurer.
Morning.
And some with yet another.
Morning.
Whereas you could have all your insurances at one place.
Morning.
SGIC.
Morning. Morning.
And get a much better deal.
Okay, I'd like 12 months cover for my car, my house, my life. So, what can you do for me? Dear, what's the deal?
12 months on 3 different kinds of insurance. Well, how about a 3 months cover on each insurance?
A 3 month? Hey.
Or you might prefer 10% off the combined premiums.
10%? Oh, I like that. I'll take the 3 months extra cover. Yeah, the 3 months. No way. Take the 10% discount.
Well, it's up to you which option you take.
Definitely the 3 months. 10%. The 3 months.
The more insurances you have with SGIC,
The 3 months.
the more you save.
No, it's all right, I'll take the 3 months.
SGIC. We'll see you through. If you have a renovating, painting or decorating problem, see your nearest Solver Decorator Centre.
How can we hang it? No problem. All you need is a straight edge and a sharp.
There's Solver's famous range of paints.
Hey, we've got a problem.
No, you've got a problem. I think what you need is one of them colour cards.
And all the accessories.
Hi.
I think my car needs paint job.
No problem, sport. We need some bright, shiny paint with a paintbrush.
So when you take your problems to a Solver Decorator Centre, guess what? From Universal Pictures.
Let's do the grab the rifle by the bottom thing. Arr!
Steve Martin.
Robin, give me 20. Right. 1. We're going for 1.
Sergeant Bilko.
Bilko.
Whatever you drive, and wherever you drive it, you can be confident of the protection of mobile oils to not only keep you moving, but to keep the world turning.
8:30 Mondays. 7's action blockbuster that'll take your breath away.
Who are you?
Shane Royce, Secret Agent.
Funny man James Belushi outdoing Bond.
Ooh, this guy's good.
Tracking down spies.
License to kill.
Irresistible to women, ready to give his life.
Yeah, well, I'm unpredictable, you know.
To save the world.
Here, I always thought I was going to die from some horrendous disease.
The Cold War's over, but one guy's about to turn up the heat.
I'll be right back.
The Ultimate Adventure, Royce, 8:30 Monday on Channel 7.
Saturday night football alive and well here at Football Park in South Australia, particularly if you're a Croatia supporter, because the home side leading at the moment by 51 points. Just some of the action of round 4. Let's take in some more now in our Qantas Saturday wrap.
Melbourne caught up with Carlton on the rebound this afternoon at Optus Oval. The Blues were right back to the form that took them to 18 straight wins. The return of Steve Kernahan, the skipper, made all the difference. By half-time, the Blues had skipped away to a 56-point lead, and things didn't get any better for the injury-depleted Demons after the break. Carlton by 47 points, Kernahan 4, but he's in trouble with a hamstring injury again. At Victoria Park, Collingwood hosted Fremantle. The Dockers coming off a huge win over Carlton. After an even first quarter, Collingwood skipped away in the second to open an 8-goal lead at half-time. The Magpies by 39 points, Rocker and McGuan 3 goals apiece. Cellar dwellers St Kilda and Fitzroy with the chance for their first win of the season. And the night Premier St Kilda made absolutely sure there would be no mistakes. With a two-pronged forward line headed by Stewie Lowe and Peter Everett, the Saints were back to their very best against ordinary opposition. By three-quarter time, the margin would be 15 goals, and the long losing run of Fitzroy was extended to 18. St Kilda by 85 points, Stewie Lowe kicking 8. Since 1925, Footscray and Hawthorn have won 64 times each against each other. At half-time at the Whitten Oval, only a point separated them. With a minute to go, it was still a point, and Dunstall had Pritchard in his sights.
In goes Pritchard, and he misses. The score's a level in the 9 seconds of the game at the Whitten Oval.
After a series of blowouts, the first draw ever between these two sides. Hargraves kicked 3 for the Hawks.
And what a Dow struggle it must have been, 8-9 apiece. Let's go and find the stories now behind today's matches and go to the sporting editor, the Sunday Herald Sun in Scotland, Palmer. Plenty happening, Scotty. Good evening to you.
Yeah, welcome, Sandy, to the Sunday Herald Sun.
What about Mickey McGuan, just going back to that Collingwood match with Scotty Chisholm? What went on between those two?
What did Mickey say to Scotty? It certainly turned the game around. No one's talking out there, but Neesham wasn't overly interested in it. He said Chisholm was very undisciplined when it happened, and I was worried because he had the potential to do something stupid because he's a very fiery customer. And Tony Shaw said McGuan was very, very professional in doing it. He said, if you can do that and turn the game around, terrific. He said, I wish I could do it 20 times a day and get a goal out of it.
I reckon there might have been some old Tony Shaw tactics there. Let's go to that clash between Fitzroy and St Kilda. Mickey Noonan must be suddenly realising, well, he must be very, very disappointed.
Very, very disappointed today. And he said today the Lions should start earning their pay. He said, I have coached for 13 years and that is the most inept performance I've been involved in, Sandy. Very, very disappointed. St Kilda lost Jason Daniel. He was taken to the Dandenong Valley Hospital with a suspected cracked left shoulder, so that's bad news. But Stan Elf said we've got the monkey off our back, mate.
Now, what about Darren Pritchard? He looked then just in those highlights as though he had every chance to put them in front, but the coach is certainly not throwing any blame at him.
No, he was pretty emotional after missing that shot that could have given the Hawks a win. He said, I tried to kick it normally, but the ball was too heavy. Judge was quick to defend Pritchard. He said he'd run 50 metres to get to that ball, and he also defended the Hawks from all their knockers. He said, one thing about us, we have a go, and he was very disappointed tonight that they've got a few critics on their back.
Just while you're on the subject of the Hawks, Scotty, a couple of debuts, firstly for the Hawks, Paul Salmon, and then what about Jakovic?
Salmon did well. Jakovic was taken off, but Joyce, he said, not bad. He was looking for a smaller, more structural forward line. Is that an excuse, Sandy?
I don't know. It could be a football excuse. Carlton's win,
again came at a cost. We heard that Sticks had a hamstring. Kernahan, how bad?
Yeah, he's going to miss for 2 weeks. David Parkin said it was the Blues' worst 8-goal victory that he can remember. Losing Kernahan's going to place a lot of problems up before him too. And of course, Michael Sexton's got a crook back, so there's a few problems up there. He said, unless we settle down and play consistently, we're going to struggle more than we have in recent years.
And in closing, and on a medical report, Dermy, what is it, a broken jaw playing with his mates?
A cheekbone playing for the Bombers. The bloke's been reported, Sandy. His wife, Tony, told me just a few minutes ago. I didn't think this had happened because he said he was going out to play football with his mates.
He's got nice mates, Scotty.
He's a lovely mate.
Our time is up. Keep punching.
Keep punching, mate.
Yeah, good on you. Scott Palmer from the Sunday Herald Sun. We'll take a break more shortly.
From Universal Pictures and Imagine Entertainment, Steve Martin, Dan Aykroyd.
You must think I'm a nincompoop. Yes.
And Phil Hartman.
I'm telling you, he's a boob!
Sergeant Bilko.
Busy day ahead.
I certainly hope so, Al.
At BP Express, we have everything you need under one roof.
And we're open much later.
Every day of the year.
Have a good day, Rob. Thanks, man.
BP, we keep you moving.
Introducing a new ute. From Ford. It's the new Ford Longreach. With over 60 major improvements, the Longreach range includes new styling, anti-lock brakes, driver's airbag and a new interior.
Stay.
And it still carries more weight than any other ute in its class. The new Ford Longreach. Give it heaps.
It's my team. Show 'em you belong. It's my team. I'm a part of it too. I'm a part of the team. It's my team. Show 'em you belong.
Qantas Autumn Sale. Huge savings to places like Melbourne, just $169 return. Or Sydney, only $269 return. Better hop to it. Sale ends May 2. Call your licensed or APTA travel agent or Qantas now.
Cut down by a tiny killer.
Everybody has a right to know about it.
Infected by a hospital, and it can happen right here in Adelaide. Plus, Lisa McCune, Logie favourite. Monday on Today Tonight.
When a replacement sergeant turns up, he turns Mount Thomas upside down. We have to get rid of him. Then things turn deadly serious. Where's the baby? When a baby is stolen. And a boy wants to end it all. On Blue Heelers, Tuesday on 7.
If you may have just joined us, then welcome to Football Park. It is the home side, the Crows, leading by 51 points, led by Gary O'Donnell. O'Donnell, of course, a sporting legend in his own right, but he comes from one of the truly great sporting families, and he is now, in fact, taking time off from his work to pass that tradition on. He's going to be playing Mr. Mum. In fact, he is at the moment. Let's hear more on that story now from Kim Sporton.
This is the Gary O'Donnell we know best. In full flight on the field, one of the club's most valuable assets.
What do we got here? Colours and shapes. Puppy dog. Snake. Birdie.
And this is the Gary O'Donnell few see, but he takes his other job every bit as seriously. Gary has swapped roles with his wife for the year to devote time to the other love of his life, his 15-month-old daughter, Olivia.
Stop with Daddy. Yes. Good girl. Thank you.
The skill, discipline and dedication that he's applied to his football for so many years is nothing compared to his new role as Mr. Mum.
The very first day Lisa went back to work, I locked Olivia in the car down at the supermarket and took her half an hour to get her out, so she was screaming by the end of that. But after that, it's been great. It's really, I think it's going to help my football in the end. It's giving me more time to do an extra skill session or just recover from a game, get a massage or go and see a physio if I'm struggling a little bit. But something that I wasn't able to do working full time. Also, I wasn't seeing Olivia either. I'd put her to bed on a Sunday night and maybe see her on a Thursday. Like, you just can't have that, miss 4 or 5 days of your baby's life.
As you can see, Olivia's no slouch in the sporting department herself, and it's little wonder when you look at her pedigree. Gary's dad played for North Melbourne and for Geelong, as did his father before him. His great-grandfather was the first captain of Geelong. Sister Shelley is a 2-time world champion netballer. Their other sister, Wendy, plays State League netball. Then there is the twins. Kevin and Cameron both played district cricket, and Kevin is also regarded as the fastest player in the VFL competition. And the list doesn't end there, because Mrs. O'Donnell used to represent the state playing softball. This is one sporty family. Are you a very competitive bunch?
I think, we were learnt to be competitive the way we grew up with each other, and there was a lot of rivalry in the backyard. But I suppose as you get older, you're more, supporting each other and hoping that, each and every one is going to be, doing their best at their particular sport.
Yes, Kim Sporton reporting on quite an amazing family, and Gary O'Donnell taking time off for a year to spend more time with his young family. We wish him well. He certainly needs all the help he can get at the moment. His side is trailing by 51 points here at Football Park, and the Crows are just coming back out onto the ground.
Now we return to the extreme adventures of Russell and Glenn.
Glenn? Aliens?
Friends? Light Ice for extreme refreshment.
Some low-rate fixed home loans surprise you with an additional lock-in period. But at Bank SA, we're offering 9.25% fixed for 2 or 3 years with no traps. Call Bank SA on 13 13 76.
Kyle Grant lived in New York's fanciest hotel and hated every minute of it. Then he met a friend who made his imagination run wild. Together, they're discovering how much fun life can be. Once you get the hang of it. Holy! Dunstan checks in.
From Australian National Travel Centre, the sensational rail and sail dream holiday. Travel on the Indian Pacific to Sydney, spend 3 nights and enjoy the many wonderful sights. Then board the superb ship Corelia for an 11-night cruise through the Whitsunday Islands. You can indulge yourself with everything included, fabulous meals, onboard activities and entertainment. Return to Sydney, then fly home with Ansett Australia, all from only $2,265. To book, phone Australian National Travel Centre.
It's sale time at Decorator Warehouse. Quality leather at sale prices. Save big dollars on factory orders too. Beat our sale price on any of our designs and it's yours, free. Decorator Warehouse, Under the Vines, Melbourne Street, North Adelaide and Unley Road, Unley. Open 7 days.
Broke my windscreen, broke my windscreen. Now woe is me, what shall I do?
Simply phone us, Instant Windscreens.
Instant Windscreens fit windscreens, side and rear glass to all types of vehicles. Install van windows and even apply window tinting for cooler driving. All work is fully guaranteed. And with Instant's innovative Repair It, you may not even need a new windscreen.
Instant Windscreens is our number. 132 444.
Monday on Jag. A no-fly zone, a pilot down, an enemy destroyed.
Gave you the right to do that, Captain.
A court-martial for a Navy legend.
The accused pleads not guilty, Your Honor.
Meg and Harm must fight to save him.
Sometimes a warrior has to fall on his sword.
His only witness, trapped behind enemy lines.
Stop playing the hero!
His only hope, a Navy lieutenant who must get him out alive.
You're a cowboy.
Hyundai presents the mega hit series Jag. 7:30 Monday on 7.
Last show, they trashed Pride and Prejudice.
You talking to me?
Sent up the amazing David Copperfield and battled the ARL. What will they think of this week in an all-new season of Full Frontal, 8:30 Thursday on 7.
Andrew Jarman has 3 goals, Tony Modra 2, David Pittman 2 and Peter Caven 2. The main contributors for Adelaide, 10-9-69. The Bombers, it's a very different tale. James Hurd kicked one in the first quarter. That was at the 10-minute mark, and then deep into the second quarter, Dustin Fletcher booted the second. They are 2-6-18. Can Neil Curley, they come back?
Well, they've done it before, but they had a Michael Longman who took the Crows apart. I don't think they'll do it tonight. The Crows are playing too hard a football and too good a football, I think, for Essendon to handle. But Coach Kevin Sheedy's trying everything. He's made a lot more moves.
Well, let's see what they can do in this second half. Somerville is about to get the ball rolling. Pushed wide towards Fraser. He held it for a long time, but the umpire said play on, so Bomber Thompson did. Down towards Danaher. Has time to steady. Bounce favoured him in the end in opposition to Ben Hart. He puts it out in front of Hurd, who gets a bad one. So too did Somerville in the end. It spills free. Liptak is in the middle, tries to get it out towards Jarman. Danaher was there. Simons hurriedly off the ground. Hurd might get a nice bounce and he might get a shot at goal from 40. He bends it back, but nowhere near enough, and it's out of bounds on the full.
It's reasonably indicative of what's happened with Essendon tonight, but okay, they've got the ball out the middle, which is a start. Kick forward now. 4 in the pack. Somerville last crack, can't get hold of it. Smart off the ground, forcing it towards the boundary line. Gary O'Donnell there, happy to see it over. Yes, he is. And a boundary throw in, centre wing almost. Start of this third quarter. Really got to eke some goals out here, Essendon, one at a time, obviously, but just keep the Crows scoreless, really. Liptak, Jamison on hands and knees. Pittman's done some real good heavy work to Costa, and they share it through the middle. Fantastic start. Sets up Jamison, who goes very long over the head of Wellman and Modra. First there's Caven, gives it back to Modra. Modra screws it round. There's an open goal square, goes across the face of goals, and eventually out of bounds in the forward pocket. So quick transference of play, and once again the Essendon defence under pressure.
The Crows, Malcolm, is that when they're getting it around midfield, they're going longer into the forward line, aren't they? Quicker with a longer kick.
McLeod, clever. Robrin, upended. Coming onto it for Shudo. Tries to hook the ball back to the square. Does so beautifully. And a big punch from behind from Pryor. And once again, the ball out of bounds.
So a throw in the right forward pocket. Danger signs again for the Bombers as Somerville decides will do it all once more and pushes it over. Pittman comes across now but won't get there in time. Berbakoff did it. Here comes Pittman. He soccers off the ground to the back towards Modra. Had his legs pulled out from underneath him. Wellman gets the hand pass away in front of Hardwick. He soccers off the ground towards Sean Denham. Denham a deft little chip towards the boundary line, and Mark Beckley sees it over. At the moment, all going according to plan for that young man's 100th game with his beloved Crows. Jarman has been sensational, both Jarman boys. Been so exciting to watch. Well done by Liptak to pick it up and to get it out towards Costa from 47 metres. He tumbles it wide and just sneaks in a behind. Second behind for Kim Costa. 10-10 plays 2-6. After this blistering opening half.
Just thinking what Essendon can do to actually get back in this game. They've made so many positional changes. They've tried everything. It's, you know, the Crows just blitzing them, man.
Some good pack work there from Essendon to work that away to Fraser. Really does want to take him on. Once again, Costa quick enough to catch him. Prosciutto under pressure now. Samuel bursts his way clear. Brilliant play from Prosciutto. Motra's one out here. Reads the ball beautifully. Needs some support and comes backwards to Caven. Has players in the middle of the ground. Goes that way and finds Robran. Robran also has players out wide. Bickley, he'll stand his ground and does.
Starting to play a little bit arrogantly, do you think?
I just think it was great team play, Don.
Well, it is team play, but the way they're chipping it around now, the multiple handballs they had out on the outer wing there.
Was really just to set that up. Essendon were mainly over this side, so I thought it was pretty good stuff in the end, pretty cool stuff. Mark Bickley. Kicks from 40 metres. Goal umpire now starting to move across just to the right, and only a point result. So 10-11 plays 2-6.
So just 2 behind scored so far in this second half. Berbatov has asked for a big mark. He doesn't let his side down. Comes from the back pocket. Transfers play in towards Somerville territory in the middle. Pittman chips in front. Gives the hand pass away to Liptak. He can go wider here. Danger once more. Caven from 50 metres. Sets sail for home and puts on another behind.
Big kick of the ball, Caven.
It's a bit of a breeze going down that way, Don, isn't there? The ball is travelling just that little bit further to the Crows in this quarter.
Bombers will be hoping it rises to a gale come the next term then, Malcolm.
Pryor kicks in. Oh, Robran. Easy. Not quite got this kick out right. Has McLeod short, doesn't find that player. Runs at it hard though. Run very hard at it. Now kicks to the front of the square. Edwards, no. Masidi chipped it off beautifully. And the free kick will come back to Masidi. Almost worked perfectly, that play. Masidi good enough to be in the way. Out to Harvey. Harvey in the front. Fraser can't get hold of it. And the ball with Bickley over the top, and there'll be a bounce.
Gary O'Donnell giving encouragement to his younger players. A bounce on that outer side. About 40,000 fans cramming into Football Park once again tonight. Masidi, Liptak hot on his hammer. O'Donnell chipping up towards half forward. This looks more promising as Ryan O'Connor has it. He has a look down towards the 50. Oh, he's steaming out his Simons. He gets there in time and has paid the football.
This is probably his first kick for the game. Simons has been on the bench.
Yep, it is, and it's short to O'Donnell, still outside 50.
He's one of those players who's capable of anything. The unexpected is Simons.
Well, he heads towards the forward zone, and Dustin Fletcher was his target. Didn't find him. O'Connor may have to go off the ground. He picks it up and slams it into the behind post. That's out of bounds on it. Ben Hart will bring it back into play.
Ben Hart short to Jamison, who's knocked up getting a lot of touches at the back. 18 kicks and 5 handles. Fantastic stats. Ends up with Pryor. Pryor now goes long. Attacks the goal square. Simons with the sit. Not big enough. Almost. Now he recovers, turns, kicks, and without poise, kicks it wide. And running after it is Allen. Keeps it inside, sells the dummy, comes back inside, chips the ball in the Pittman direction, can't get hold of it. Underneath, great running from the Crows to Liptak, and Liptak finds Edwards. It's amazing how many times it falls for you. Prosciutto, usually pretty good with a kick. That is a brilliant kick. Just can't hang on to it is Modra. Enough players there, Wellman. Gives it out to Thompson, and Thompson goes back to Hurd in the middle.
And he takes it just on the defensive side of centre. Flicks it across the ground. Dangerous!
Oh.
And the bomber came off second best as Bickley's away. He's picking himself up now, but in the meantime, Bickley's found Edwards on right half forward. He goes for home with a high kick in towards full forward. It goes over the top of Jarman, one behind.
Thompson's all right, and he's up too, Sandy. He's across half back. Bickley really did have to stand his ground and did the right thing, the leg up to just protect himself. Could have been cleaned up otherwise. Barry Young about to come on. Fletcher going off for Essendon. Fletcher was playing down at full forward. And Young's going down into the goal screen. Been picked up by Chalmers, so Essendon's still trying to move. There's just nothing offering for Hardwick. They're just well covered by the Crows. Now there's a little bit of movement.
Here goes Hardwick. Or does he? No, he's gone. Thank you, says Jarman. I'll have that
one. Bickley gives it to him. With over $2,000 of added value, including an electric sunroof, CD stacker, and unique escape badging. The quickest way to escape the urban jungle is in a 3.5-litre double overhead cam Mitsubishi Pajero Escape. Please consider.
Make your garden 10 out of 10 with Yates Dynamic Lifter range and Mitre 10. Spread some Dynamic Lifter pellets on your flower garden or Dynamic Lifter Greenkeeper's Choice on your lawn. And Dynasol liquid fertilizer will make your potted or indoor plants bloom. No matter what kind of gardener you are, Yates Dynamic Lifter will always give you a green thumb. Well, almost always.
Mitre 10 out of 10 every time.
UltraTune's in tune with you and your car. In fact, 98% of our customers were satisfied or extremely satisfied with UltraTune's service and repairs in responses to a recent survey of RAA-approved mechanical repairer customers. And the other 2%? Well, we're working on it. UltraTune, in tune with you and your car. 15 locations, all endorsed by the RAA.
On Witness with Jana Wendt. Our special investigation names a prominent high flyer. His sex life with underage boys.
You had sex with him?
A name that will rock the political establishment.
Somebody has to do it.
Plus peace in the Middle East.
Do you care about the so-called peace process?
Does it really stand a chance?
Peace seems a very long way off.
Jana Wendt reports from the heart of the turmoil. When Holden presents Witness, 9:30 Tuesday on 7.
Bombers in heaps of strife. Michael Pryor, in particular, behind play, has been in the hands of the trainers and is by no means right. We'll keep an eye on him as Hurd snares it nicely, kicks them inside 50 towards Cockatoo. Collins and O'Connor is there to assist him. He'll need assistance because here is Jarman again. He gives it away and they pump it out of strife. Back towards half forward. And Robin plays on, gives it over towards McLeod. He heads for home. There's another one. How about this, they say?
Now, just looking at that, Robin really didn't want the ball. I just think he was running second, and this is how the Crows are going. Everything going right. Robin just, look, he was looking at what was going on a little earlier. I suppose the players in front misjudged the ball, and then thought, oh, well, here it is. There's McLeod finishing it off. The Crows can do no wrong. That's his second goal, McLeod.
Yeah, 67-point margin now. It's really out of hand for Essendon. Really can't produce a goal at all. Pittman, hand on the ball. Great kick forward by Bickley in tight. Falls over the back. Meeting its Harvey, stands his ground well. Pryor, looks as though he might have recovered and heads towards the boundary line. So the Bombers under siege.
Wearing Alan Izzard's old number 15. Real tough customer. Quick too, Pryor.
So the ruck work done by Robran and Berbikov. Robran works his way to the front, taps it down, can't get hold of its Rashudo. Kick forward to Denham, almost shovels it out, ends up back with Denham, along the boundary line. Smarton, oh, that's fantastic. Smart and Hurd, it's been a great battle when they've been on each other. Looks inside, have a look at that. And Liptak just burst away from 3 Bombers. Now kicks it in the German direction. With him there's O'Donnell. Has to do some magic. Somehow or other gets back onto his left foot. And almost marked by Harvey. But almost a goal as well. Unbelievable stuff from Darren Jarman, who's had a quiet 20 touches. And we've still got nearly 12 minutes to go.
There's one. Jarman missed. Caven didn't. Well, it's on his right foot, Caven. That's his third. It's just becoming a cakewalk for the Crows. Everything going their way. Look at Caven just reading it. Bang onto the left foot. Normally a left foot kick. But I was just so impressed with Andrew Jarman, his delivery in the centre of the ground. The young fellows, there's so many guys playing this top-level football that are just no good on the opposite side of the body, but Jarman is.
Well, in their first 3 games, the Crows scored 20, 21 and 21 goals, and Caven and co are looking as though they might make it 4, because they've now moved to 13-13. The Bombers in total disarray at 2-6. And here is Andrew Jarman.
He's an Essendon player down at centre-half back.
He's with cramp. Modra couldn't snare it and eventually lost it over the line. I think it is only cramp.
I think that's Harvey.
It's amazing how many balls they've got out wide, the Crows, from return kicks back out of the centre.
No, it's Wellman, I think, down at the moment. The former Crow. We'll keep an eye on him anyway. As Denham applies the tackle, tries to get it out, and Masiti couldn't get through. Very heavy traffic. Jarman, look at him. Sensational. Half. Towards half forward. At the back, Modra. It was Wellman who was down, Don, but he appears to be up and okay. And now Darren Jarman, who hasn't scored a goal today, but has had 17 kicks. 17 magnificent kicks. Is now going to have a shot for his first. .48 metres out. Oh, he's a very talented player. Very talented. Got his first.
Now here's Modra attacking the ball, realising just not in position to let it go. Spots Jarman. And what a beautiful kick from the former Hawk.
So we're back in the centre. And 4 goals to 0 this quarter from the Crows, and really is making mincemeat here of the Bombers.
Well, look at this.
Pittman to Jarman. Kick forward. Harvey goes early. Falls in the path of Crows players. Hardwick helps. Harvey over the back to O'Donnell. He's forced to give it out wide towards the boundary line, and Hardwick would be very content to let that one run out.
Now Cockatoo Collins going down on the back line for Essendon.
Yes, this is a big score. It's Dustin Fletcher went off with the blood rule earlier. Tap forward. Jarman and Thompson, 2 veterans. Ball pushed wide. Bickley over it. Gives it back to Jarman. Thompson's after him again. Oh, back comes Bickley. That is brilliant. Kicks it back to Jamison, who really has got a lot of space in front of him. Now goes to an open goal square. No one home. He's kicked at 65 metres and just misses.
Wellman off the ground. The reason why Jamison got that ball, because he was down on the forward line, then because Wellman was injured, flipped it back towards the centre to pick up his place across half back. Consequently, he was by himself.
Don said Wellman off, Fletcher on. Wellman was down with cramp. Pryor goes to the outer side. Somerville is the big flyer. At half back, floats it to centre wing. Fraser takes the mark. Has a look down towards Hurd. Territory at half forward. Well, he floated, to quote Muhammad, but he couldn't take the mark. Out the back it comes now. Ellen pushing the ball along in front. Shane Ellen still going. Simons does well. Off to Fletcher, who's just come back out onto the ground. It's a high kick in towards full forward. And a big fly. And a big mark taken by Mark McCurry. Well, McCurry, not lonesome in having a quiet night tonight as far as this Essendon side is concerned. They just cannot fire at all. Adelaide hitting the ball really hard. And only a couple of kicks, a couple of hand passes, Mark McCurry. This for his first goal, the young man from Keilor Park. Starts at left and the roar says it all.
Yes, they are playing the top side, and officially after this round, I'm sure that Crows will still be there. So they're going to be testing. Got some games coming up in Melbourne, of course. And that kick out, one of the first time the kick hasn't missed. Hart kick smothered. Now caught again. That is holding the ball. Yeah. It's almost one of the first times that the Essendon sides actually kept them under pressure in their forward line.
Good tackle once again by Fraser. He laid a good tackle earlier. And the second time the bench is being used for the Crows, and Pesh coming on once again. Lip tack off.
Fraser's kick, the front of the square.
I'm sorry, Edwards off.
And once again a ball up. So some 30 metres out from the Essendon goal, and they haven't had it in this territory many times tonight. The Chalmers, 4 players, and Pittman eventually gets it. Balls to Thompson, the ball kicked forward and out on the full, and it really is one of those sort of nights for the Bomber. Jamison, just under 8 minutes to go of this third quarter. Looking at his options, really not a lot. He now has to go long. He's happy to do that, kicks it out wide. O'Connor with his name on it, and marks uncontested.
75 metres out. Goes in towards half forward. Nigel Smart there with a fist. Was able to get it away. Chalmers applies the tackle. The ball spills free just for a moment though, and then they pounce upon it and lock it up. The bounce to take place. With the Crows having North Melbourne at the MCG coming up, then Collingwood at Victoria Park. A couple of tough ones. Then they return to Football Park for Fremantle and St Kilda. So looking for an exciting start to the season. Barry Young's kick was smothered. Liptak does beautifully. Gives it away to Shane Allen. He can bounce his way through half-back. Go over the top of Fraser, trying to draw him now. He couldn't. He elected to take the kick. It was partly smothered and goes over the line. Not a lot Kevin Sheedy can say at the moment. Watching a very good outfit at work against his beloved Bombers. Denham goes back towards the 50. Oh, Chalmers got up a mile. Mercedes plays on. Cockatoo Collins off the ground. Didn't get it cleanly towards Hurd. And again, Ben Hart tidies up beautifully to the Roo on centre wing. Mark Prosciutto's pulled by Caven to go on to half forward. Jarman read it magnificently. But what a read, Malcolm.
Actually, this is the best I've seen him move, Sandy. Okay, he can read the play, but he's also really moving well.
Yes, he's playing very well, but gee whiz, it's going their way, isn't it? When you're hot. Kicked into Harvey. And that's better from the Bombers, trying to set it up. Now can go long to Somerville. Coming late on the scene was Modric. Great contest in the end. And free kick here. High tackle. And umpire Scott McLaren says there's something to put out his arm and caught Pesh high. And you'd have to say that was pretty right. Oh, no, Pesh into the centre half forward area, and Young stands his ground well before Caven can get there. Now plays on quickly. The ball's half smothered. The umpire's in the way. So after a great decision, Scott McLaren gets up quickly. The crowd cheers. Ends up with Jamison, and there's a free kick down the ground. And I think that Matthew Rodron will take this kick at centre-half forward. He's the closest player. And Dennis Rich, the other umpire, waiting to call. And there you see the push down.
That's fair enough to do, but you've got to do that further down in your forward line so you don't give away that relay free kick that can be capitalised upon. And O'Connor's action, frustration. They've got to do something, Essendon, but he should have given it deeper in the forward line.
Hang on, it's an Adelaide free kick. It's gone to Liptak. Robin was closer. Liptak was handy, so that's fair enough.
He might struggle to make the distance, young Matthew, from here.
So some indecision there. It was obvious what Scott McLaren wanted to do, but he did just receive a heavy knock in the centre of the ground. Liptak kicks and has kicked another one for the Crows. So Liptak's first goal, and Adelaide motor away to 15-15, Essendon 2-7.
Yes, he kicked 1-1, and here it is. Jamison getting rid of the ball. O'Connor committed. They're pretty hard, those. But Liptak has been used as more only a defensive type role, playing off his opponent. He's done well picking up players this year.
.105 plays 19, and they're at it again. Down towards half forward. It's become far too easy. Jamison's going to kick a goal here. 35 metres out. Thank you very much. Rob Jamison in game number 97 has kicked his first for the night.
Well, he was the leading goal kicker here at Adelaide many, many years ago, Rod Jamison. I think it was in their first year of the Crows. And now, being very impressed with Jamison coming off that half-back flank, a very attacking player playing off half-back, and his delivery of the ball is really exceptional into the forward line. Now playing across half-forward. Moves aplenty on this ground.
So back in the middle, 16 goals now to the Crows. Somerville jumps early. Hurd back in the middle. Forward by Danaher. And sitting in front was Curie. Can't get hold of it. Balls to O'Connor. He really does unload it when he had some space. One-on-one back here is Cockatoo Collins. Now runs off from Bond, and a certain goal for the Bombers.
A bit of skill there from Cockatoo Collins. Playing on Shane Bond. If my memory serves me correct, I can be corrected here. They're Troy Bond. They're cousins, I think. Both played for Port Adelaide. Would that be right?
So Greg Anderson coming on. Chalmers coming off. He had that ankle injury last week. We're back in the centre. Fraser runs at it. Kicks it forward. Great punch from Allen. Back into the centre of the ground. Smart wanted to kick it out of the air. Jarman was there to help, and the ball goes to centre half forward. Over the back is Caven. Whole heap of Crows players running by. They really do run into each other. Peshin underneath, and a bounce will result.
Current margin, Malcolm, is 86 points. And Adelaide's greatest winning margin prior to tonight against the Bombers was 57 points. That was back in round 23. A couple of years ago, 1994, here at Football Park, as Chalmers has a drink. So they're on target to certainly smash that. This is out of bounds in the right forward pocket. Berbatov sees it over.
Well, the big problem is how they're going to travel the Crows, because they don't play terribly well in Melbourne, do they?
No, with North at the MCG next week, then Collingwood at Victoria Park. Always difficult, as the Dockers discovered today.
There's 4 zip starts, though. It's a great start, isn't it? My word.
Well, I think the first half dozen games, Malcolm, are really with the decider as to how you're going to pan out for the rest of the season. If you can get a good way to a good start, it just seems to continue on.
On centre wing, Fraser takes the hand pass, sneaks away from Jarman. Floats it up towards Hurd, but there's his shadow. Nigel Smart again. Mercury, O'Donnell, Fraser has Barry Young behind him. Eventually gets the call. Young is 60 metres out. Comes inside. Costa overruns it. This allows Mercury in to go towards Hurd. And James Hurd not paid the mark on all fours. Smart there with him. Pesh also, and it's Nick Pesh who gets it out. The umpire lets play go on. Jarman off to Robrin. Robrin now at half-back, comes inside to the running Pesh. They pop it over the top, and they've got a chance for Ellen to give it to Liptak. Now he's clear. Matthew Liptak with a couple of bounces. McLeod says go for home. He does go for home.
Well, I thought kicking was Matthew Liptak's problem, but he certainly dispelled that. He's let that go from 55 metres. He was on the run. On occasions when he has delivered the ball, it hasn't spun in the right way for a drop punt. But this time, no mistaking. The little fellow, one bounce, two, and then lets it go. That was actually 60 metres. What an excellent kick for goal.
Crows on fire. Back in the centre. Pittman done very well in ruck. And really having trouble, Essendon, getting that clean possession going straight. It ends up with O'Donnell, who can find Hurd, and that's much, much better. They really have had
best
trouble.
Player too, Hurd.
And then a great kick from Hurd, because if he gets it, he can kick it. And Mercury. But it's always been at the back of the square that they've really had a lot of their thrust from, hasn't it? Rather than the players running directly at goals. So they've had to use 5 good skill possessions to get at Mercury. He can kick a goal, though, this fella. And he's kicked the Bombers 4th. So Essendon belatedly get their 2nd goal for this quarter. Meanwhile, the Crows have got 7.
Well, he did well in the Lightning Premiership, Mercury. He's been down a little bit, but last week came back into form. And no doubt he'd be disappointed with tonight's performance. Mark Mercury is better than what he is showing. He's playing in the forward pocket, was up around midfield earlier in the game.
2.5 minutes remaining in this third quarter.
He's getting confident now, Pittman.
Jarman off to Rashudo. A hurried left foot kick puts them inside 50 once again. Hardwick was the flyer. Harvey was also there. McLeod too for the Crows. Socket off the ground through the arms of Ellen, but Liptak's there once again. He just kicked one. He'll go for the centering kick to McLeod. Marks from 45.
So he's getting better too, McLeod. Pre-season he had a foot injury. It's a little while to get overcome that foot injury, lack of match practice. He's getting better with each game.
Kicked a goal in the second, one in the third. Only his 19th game. They're looking to certainly cement a spot in this Crows lineup. McLeod kicking from 51 metres. It's a big drop punt, but it's off target. 17-16 plays 4-7.
Yes, one of those exciting youngsters Crows have got. And those recruits they've put into the team have really steadied this team down. Jarman, Caven, Bond.
They're experienced too, aren't they?
Yes. Fletcher comes out wide. Man on man. Berbatov in best position. Now runs back.
Kick.
Yes, probably. Now runs back onto it and forces it along the boundary line. Brings it back inside. Probably not the smart thing to do defensively. And unfortunately has given away the free kick. So Mark Rashudo, players on inside. Hart forced to go back. And really there are a lot of Crows players just leading.
Pitch quickly. Look, he's got Jamison here.
Yes, there's a lot of loose Crows players everywhere. Rod Jamison now goes in. Robrin's a target from behind, but Modra!
Now that's use to the body. That is good use to the body. So many players nowadays use their hands. We saw Jarman push Thompson in the back earlier. And no player really does use his body well. But on that occasion, it's just use to the body. And that's the way it should be. There he is. He held his ground. Maybe he's pushed a little off the ball, but still a good effort.
And Modra kicks his third. The Crows get their 18. And unfortunately, this is becoming very much one-sided in a game that we thought might have been something of a crackerjack.
Well, when you have expectation, Malcolm, we had it last week, didn't we? Up in Brisbane, it just never comes off. So don't expect things in life because you'll never, or don't have great expectations. You get a little philosophical this hour of the night and the way the game's going, you've got to be philosophical.
124 plays 31. inside the last 30 seconds of this third quarter. Dennis Rich. We'll put the big men to work again. Pittman and Somerville. Somerville goes it alone. O'Donnell held, said the umpire, and Gary O'Donnell from the middle. They've got time to score if Hurd or someone like that down on the forward line can take a mark. James Hurd, hassled by Smart towards the boundary line, but he tucks it back in nicely towards Danaher. Under pressure, Danaher flicks it down towards the pocket region. A chance now for Cockatoo Collins. He's clear and he goes. Right on the siren, Shea Cockatoo Collins kicks his second for the quarter. Starting to add just a smidgen of respectability to that Bombers scoreboard, because it was a sorry sight at half-time at just 2-6. They did, however, in that term boot 3-1. That sounds okay till you realise that Adelaide booted 8-7. Quite an amazing performance, with goals coming from Andrew Jarman, Tony Modra, Andrew McLeod, a couple from Matthew Liptak. Rod Jamieson got in the goal scoring spree, and Peter Caven also kicked his third. So Robert Shaw will be well pleased with his Chargers' first 3 quarters. Kevin Sheedy, well, what can the master coach do to get them going in this final quarter? We'll take a break and see. It's 18-16 to the Crows. The Bombers are 5-7.
Whatever you drive and wherever you drive it, you can be confident of the protection of Mobil oils to not only keep you moving, but to keep the world turning.
Some low-rate fixed home loans surprise you with an additional lock-in period. But at Bank SA, we're offering 9.25% fixed for 2 or 3 years with no traps. Call Bank SA on 13 13 76.
The Harley-Davidson 1200 Custom has seen and done it all with a style all its own. Now, here's your chance to win it thanks to Australia's Harley-Davidson network. Simply watch Steve McQueen in The Great Escape, 8:30 Sunday on 7.
Qantas Autumn Sale. Huge savings to places like Melbourne, just $169 return. Or Sydney, only $269 return. Better hop to it. Sale ends May 2. Call your licensed or APTA travel agent or Qantas now.
Now we return to the extreme adventures of Russell and Glenn.
Glenn, aliens,
friends. Foster's Light Ice for extreme refreshment.
Make your garden 10 out of 10 with Yates Dynamic Lifter range and Mitre 10. Spread some Dynamic Lifter pellets on your flower garden or Dynamic Lifter Greenkeeper's Choice on your lawn. And Dynasol liquid fertilizer will make your potted or indoor plants bloom. No matter what kind of gardener you are, Yates Dynamic Lifter will always give you a green thumb. Well, almost always.
Mitre 10 out of 10 every time.
Who has a more experienced news team than 7? Who has a bigger pool of top journalists? Who puts more camera crews on the streets? Who delivers footy better? Who else does weather like Wilsey? Who else brings you an hour of local, interstate and overseas news and current affairs produced in Adelaide? Nobody knows news and current affairs like 7. Nobody.
7:30 Tuesday on Better Homes, you could win $5,000 worth of furniture.
Where do you start?
What's Mike Whitney got in his garden?
You join me?
And paint a brilliant children's room.
Couldn't be easier.
Better Homes and Gardens. Then at 8, join Ernie in the ultimate aerial adventure.
If you're scared of heights, do it.
Penny discovers a little bit of Aussie in England.
Got a whole kangaroo in it.
And take one of Australia's most popular tours. Great outdoors plus Better Homes and Gardens Tuesday.
Essendon's lowest score against Adelaide was 8 goals 10 back in 1994. They want to get a rig on, otherwise they'll rewrite those record books. 18-16, 124. The Bombers are 5-7, 37.
Today's match is part of the AFL Coca-Cola Centenary Season.
And having said that, at the moment, really, Neil Curley, the Crows showing no signs of letting up.
Okay, well, it's a surprise move here. Mott was off the ground for the Crows. I think he's just done enough according to the run of the team manager. Robert Shaw spent a lot of time over the board for some reason, and he must have had the Mott removed in his mind. The Crows' concentration and discipline will be put to the test this quarter. It may sound strange, but these guys have got to concentrate and show great discipline if they really want to run over Essendon. If they don't, I've got a feeling Essendon might outscore them in this quarter.
All right, thank you, Curls. The Bombers actually haven't finished well in a couple of games this year. They have struggled to go on with the job.
Well, we've got the Germans on the forward line with Mark Rasciuto down there now. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Playing on the full forward line, Mark. So it's a small forward line for the Crows. And again, they're kicking left of screen. Now they've got their right-hand flank flooded with players. The left-hand side is open. A lot of space. Interesting way they're setting up the front end of the square open for the Crows too.
And good to see Bone McDermott off the bench and on for a run. 18-16 plays 5-7. From the middle. There he is in the thick of things already, trying to get it towards Pesh, who gives it back to Pittman. Pittman pumps it high, inside 50, up towards half forward. And the mark is going to be paid to Michael Pryor.
Similar to what Essendon, Geelong did in the Lightning Premiership or the Ansett game early in the season, the way the Crows set up then for that first bounce down.
Hardwick's kick finds Mark McCurry. He goes to the lead of Simons and he takes it beautifully in front of the eyes.
He's done some incredible things, Simons. His marking on occasions, spectacular.
But a quiet night. Just a couple of marks and one kick. Now he's got to run up longer than Michael Holdings here.
Where's he going to let it go from?
Well, at the moment he's standing 65 metres from goal. Count the steps. Kicks from 40 and misses. Listen to those cheers.
He's always had a problem with his kicking, and actually his kicking did improve when he went back on the longer run-up. Well, on that occasion, he got a little astray.
So first score to Essendon this quarter, and once again the Crows get away with an easy cheap kick to Bond, who now kicks it wide. Pittman goes early. Fisk come from behind. Pesh waits in underneath. So Merrily gets out from the tackle, kicks it back up in the air, and a lot of players around the footy. Free kick perhaps for the high tackle, and it is. And Shane Ellen will take that free kick. Relieving free kick for the Crows, half-back flank. So recruited in the pre-season draft. Comes out wide. Wing. Harvey punches. Anderson on the ground runs onto it. Chips the ball forward to Rasciuto over their head. Coming into its Costa. Well done from Durlin. Gives it off to Hardwick, to Mercedes. And Mercedes can run through the middle. Because there is O'Connor. Has to now wait, come back. Has players in support. It's Chris Danaher. He comes out wide to Hurd. Hurd and Smart are at it again. Bit of a push there from Smart. And Hurd will take the free kick right on the 50-metre line. And on a very open forward line from Essendon. If he can move this on quickly, he sees those Simons at the back. Simons has a chance on Ellen. And great defensive work there from Ellen. Puts it over the line.
Throw in the left forward pocket. Pittman in the thick of things. And easy to run it out. Bond's kick comes towards Caver.
Oh, plenty of time.
McDermott draws the applause. They love him here, but he's been fantastic for the club. Pesh inside 50. Looked for Jarman, got a hand to it, but that was all. But look at them, squabbling over it almost. Costa holding on with a job. Costa does, and he kicks it behind.
Actually, Jarman should have taken that mark. I thought he's a little casual in his approach to it.
As I said earlier, Don, Costa is kicking. If only you could kick. And someone made a comment on that, but he's kicked his 3 points again tonight, and it is just a tragedy. He just doesn't quite finish off like a real quality player.
Prior to Bomber Thompson, tucked in the back pocket. Has a look up towards centre wing. The run of Berbatov, a little too far for him, and over the line.
I think his asset to the club is his aggression on the ball, his quickness.
Oh, there's no doubt he is.
And he's able to get the ball and also put a player out of the game.
Pittman and Somerville. Costa, McDermott, back to Costa. Just gets his kick in time. Is dragged as he gets it down towards the 50. Anderson onto the left foot now. How will this bounce? Watch this one, boys. Shaves the post as the crowd rose as one.
Malcolm, that padding, it wasn't have been there. Would that have been a goal?
I don't think it's as big as the one at the Wacker, but
right.
But it is quite large.
Something we can contemplate, isn't it?
It is. Fletch kicks in. Somerville goes early over the back to O'Donnell. Has the running player there in Harvey in support. Has Hurd in the middle of the ground. Has to wait for it, therefore over his head. Great get from Young. Terrific tackle from Jameson. Hurd just brilliant. When he really has tried tonight. Kicks and gets his hand on Ellen to Simons. Needs support from behind to Fraser. Fraser stands and kicks and has pushed it right. 5-9 Essendon. 18-18's getting a big score, Adelaide.
Jamison brings it back into Bond. He looks towards Ellen. Further down the ground. He kicks towards centre wing. Now Pack here, big Pack. Anderson's got a spoil from behind. Hurd couldn't quite trap it. Anderson does well against his old side. He gives it to Pittman, who wobbles it down towards Jarman, but Thompson's in front. Jarman pounces over the top. Doolan is there also. He has one arm held. McLeod somehow gets through. Does it beautifully into McDermott, and look at that. Rashido will have a shot directly in front.
That was McLeod's effort. Watch McLeod there. Gets through, quick handball. McDermott probably, and it's unfortunate for McDermott, he's probably been the fittest he has been for years and years, yet he's starting on the bench. Maybe when the grounds get a little heavier in Melbourne, that's when he'll get his opportunity.
Rashido kicking from 45.
Then again, a player, if he sits on the bench like McDermott does, and he doesn't get exposure to football, your form certainly does suffer.
Yes, 37 shots to 14. It's fairly indicative of the game. False start there from Pryor. Now goes out wide and picks out McLeod beautifully. Off to Darren Jarman.
Oh.
Darren Jarman kicks and it's got their 19. 19-19 Adelaide, and Darren Jarman gets his second.
Well, listen, as soon as this guy gets the ball, it's a goal. He, I would say, is the best finisher in the league. He is just unbelievably good. He hit anyone with a ball, put it out in front, as we saw earlier.
The route goes on as Costa charges down towards the forward line. Pryor, well, he may get 50 there as he takes the mark and was then bundled to the ground, but no, gets on with the job. Towards Ben Doolan. O'Donnell says, get on with it quickly. Well, he does towards Hurd. It was only a short kick, and Bickley intercepts off towards Anderson. He's in trouble. Tries to get it out the back doors. Hardwick was through, but without the football. Adelaide still applying extreme pressure.
Hasn't been a lot of that tonight, though, Don. It's been a very open game of footy.
Well, early on, I thought it was terrific. No, early on, I thought that first quarter was really, you know, real tough stuff.
6-1. 6 goals to 1.
In the first, oh, yeah.
It's fairly open, I thought.
Smart at the bottom of the pack as you contemplate that. Now to the middle, over the head of Jarman, coming to meet at O'Connor. Still going, and still hassled. He eventually gets the handball over the top towards O'Donnell, who runs into McDermott. And he in turn shrugs one tackle, gives it back to Smart. Off to the run of Hart, who just gets out of trouble, but he knows how to do it. And now Jarman, where will he pinpoint this one? He's gone. In towards half forward, a centering kick. Liptak is there. We've seen it already kick a big goal.
And why is he going over there?
I don't know. He's gone backwards to Nick Pesh. He's going to give Pesh a run up at goal. From 50 metres he lets go. That's why he went to Nick Pesh.
I suppose that's why he's down there and we're up here. He knows more than what we do, but he really did go wide and he went backwards, but he knew Nick could kick it. He was confident. Bang, and Pesh lets it go. Started on the bench. Pittman coming off. And he'll get votes tonight, Pittman.
Yes, Don, it'd be unusual if a ruckman didn't get votes with you giving them. If Ruckman goes into ruck and gets the tap out, D. Jarman's been brilliant. So's Liptak. Oh, McDermott's been brilliant for 10 minutes and he's only been on for that long. Andrew Jarman started off early in that first quarter with goals. Chips the ball round to Liptak. I mean, who's on these guys? I mean, this is what it's been like most of the night. Goes forward and a brilliant mark to Rashudo after the kick from the crowd.
A little bit angry then, the boy from Waikerie. Didn't like the attention he was paid. Started half back, Rashudo. And that's his position, half back flank. He's a terrific player down back.
He's had a very confident night, Mark Rashudo. And he too has now joined the Gold Kickers list at Adelaide.
And that's his first. He kicked a point earlier in the quarter. Tyson Edwards has come on replacing Pittman. Tyson Edwards went down back. Whether he stays there, we'll just wait and see. But they're just doing it too well. And again, Adelaide lining up. They're flooding the right-hand flank.
The margin is now up to a whopping 106 points as Costa tried to storm through, couldn't do so. Jamison lays over the top of Ben Doolan. Some fans here at Football Park are actually leaving.
I was thinking the same thing. I was just thinking the same thing.
How did you work that out?
Yeah.
Oh, that could be a car problem. Who knows? Anyway, Jamison wide. And now Jarman taking it from Bickley off to the run of Smart. And it's like a procession. Rashudo. Caven's in the square. Jarman's drifted down there. Liptak's down there.
Fancies himself.
Yep. He's going to go back with a decent old run up here. And see if he can kick number 22 for the club. Pulled everyone except Jarman. Isn't it beautiful?
Well, I think it's really been the story of the night tonight. I know you can have a bad following night or a bad run with night, but I really do think that Essendon haven't tried to put enough pressure on the winners of Adelaide.
Yeah, but what about in the first quarter where it really was in that square? I reckon they went real hard at it.
I'm not saying they didn't go hard at it. I mean, I'm not saying they're not running hard, but it's just been such an open game of footy.
Jarman has kicked 4. They haven't kicked 22 in a game so far this year. And again, they haven't kicked under 20. And he's missed that. It's almost a moan from this crowd, a groan. It's 4 goals, 3 to Andrew Jarman and 21-20 to the Crows.
Yes, it's getting to cricket score proportions now. And Pryor chips in short to O'Donnell. And he has to wait now. This is where they're getting the problems here. There's no big man coming out this side, so he has to switch play and go back the other way, and goes to Danaher. Danaher, Harvey on a lead, has to wait for it, but gets it. Now he's trying to set it up. Hurd really under a lot of pressure from 3 Crows players. Seems to me he's the only one they're going to kick it to. The go-to man, Jamison, ends with lip tack. Great handball to Smart. Smart closing from 45 metres out. He's touched by Pryor right on the line.
They've done that well on the players coming, running through from half-back. The quick handball out, then the long kick forward. Jamison's done it a couple of times. Lip tack involved in that one. He was earlier too.
Pryor to the outer side, long this time to Somerville. 21-21 plays 5-9. The Bombers have added just a couple of behind so far in this quarter.
Wearing his late father's number, John Somerville played on the half-forward flank for Essendon.
And he finds Hurd. Tried his heart out to half-forward. Plenty of Crows waiting down. It's Costa off to Bond. They seem to be everywhere. Pesh takes the hand pass from Robran. Looks down towards McLeod territory. He does it with ease, then scoots around. Has a look in the forward zone, and here they come, but Hardwick intercepts. He can come wide to Cockatoo Collins, who's got a panic. He can have a run, can Shea here. One bounce, and he decides to pass it out in front of Fletcher. Put pressure on him, and he's taken it over the line. So a throw in on Essendon's right half-forward line. Bombers are going to have to regroup now for their big clash on Anzac Day with Collingwood, who were victorious today. What a game that'll be at the MCG. O'Connor wins it down, roved by Fraser. He should goal. But therein lies the story of the night for the Bombers.
Yes, I think there's most sides now that have been in the competition have come across here and got one of these. When they really get on their game here in Adelaide, they're a very hard side to beat. Have been, even when a couple of average years. Great kicking, great sharing of the footy. And ends with Tyson Edwards. Back to Jarman.
Well, now they're all leaving.
Jarman goes back inside to Robran. So they've switched play. Kick under pressure. Bickley in front, as he so often is, can't control it. Danaher after him, tries to give it to McCurry. It goes back to Smart. It's a bit of heavy stuff in the centre. Ends with McDermott to the running Robran, and who has to kick under pressure and fall short to Harvey. So Harvey from centre half back out wide and finds Barry Young. Gets around Hart, bounces, closes about 65 metres out, now goes for the pass to Fletcher and finds that player.
And I will predict now to see a different side when they play Collingwood on Anzac Day. In fact, I believe they'll win that game. Essendon?
Really? How much different will the side be, personnel-wise?
Well, we saw Brisbane last week. I think it's a real mental thing this nowadays. The team's
Lovely
so
kick.
even.
Lovely kick, I think, from Fletcher. That's the goal.
UltraTune's in tune with you and your car. In fact, 98% of our customers were satisfied or extremely satisfied with UltraTune's service and repairs in responses to a recent survey of RAA-approved mechanical repairer customers. And the other 2%? Well, we're working on it. UltraTune, in tune with you and your car. 15 locations, all endorsed by the RAA.
Qantas Autumn Sale. Huge savings to places like Melbourne, just $169 return. Or Sydney, only $269 return. Better hop to it. Sale ends May 2. Call your licensed or APTA travel agent or Qantas now.
Paint your place 10 out of 10 this winter with Wattle and Mitre 10. Keep your lounge at new look with Wattle washable low sheen and scrubbable satin acrylic. Try new Wattle Ceramicoat for a resilient finish. Refinish doors, skirtings or furniture with Wattle Instant Estopol Satin Gloss. Or touch up metalwork with Wattle Kill Rust. With Wattle and Mitre 10, you'll have a 10 out of 10 finish every time.
Mitre 10 out of 10 every time.
Wednesday, he was Australia's nicest alien.
Look, I'm going to have to hug somebody.
Until he discovered human jealousy. No more Mr. Night Martian.
Yes!
In Third Rock Fun at 7:30. Then at 8 o'clock, Aussie Swim Chat.
Oh, no.
Susie Maroney and the spin of her life. Try the new taste sensation.
Oh, God, no.
Cockroach Crunch.
What are you, weird?
Do you dare watch? 8 o'clock Wednesday on 7.
Ooh. Out of the middle, Costa. Costa gets it to Caven. And Peter Caven wants to get it on quickly because it's man on man down in the goal square. Pushing, shoving, Prosciutto in front, too easy.
Too strong. Big body against small body. He was in front. And here's Caven once again. He's a good deliverer of the ball, Caven. Look, big body. Pride just not strong enough to go with the body. And you can see the different shapes too in the bodies.
Yes, there's this 10 Crows players have kicked goals, and it's always a pretty good sign. Prosciutto moved up forwards, kicked one this quarter, and going for the Crows 22nd and his second, and effectively put through. So Adelaide really murdering this game now, Don.
Well, they blitzed Essendon, I think, in 1995, 94, 95. They scored about 180 odd points that night. Well, can they do it again against Essendon? They've got a good chance. There's 6 minutes to go, and the way they're going, they could come home quickly.
And they're doing it in front of a huge crowd of 45,266.
Again, they've flooded the half-forward flank, the Crows, the right half-forward flank.
McDermott is at the bottom of that. I think that's his pair of shorts, yes.
That's getting close to their record.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get too many more in here.
Well,
I'm just offhand. I think it was...
No, I think you're right. I didn't know they could get over 44, to be perfectly frank, but 45,266 has gone up on the board as Liptak gets the hand pass away, and here goes Jamison down to the half-forward line, and Caven marks unopposed. Gives it away to Anderson, who in turn goes to Prosciutto. It's a high, long bomb towards the Jarman boys. They're both there. And that was eventually smothered over the line.
And there still were a few empty seats.
Where?
Around? Well, right in front of us, there were quite a few.
22-21 plays 6-10.
They've gone, Don. They left about just after three-quarter time.
Is that why they're empty?
Left forward pocket. Past Prosciutto. Keeping it in play as Liptak. Around his body he goes. And Hardwick sees it over the line. Just running out of room. So under 6 minutes, but there'll be a long 6 minutes for Essendon. They came here tonight and the anticipation was so great. They were going to really throw down the challenge, and many predicted it would be the game of the round. Well, it certainly has been for the Crows and their fans, but that centre break stat really does tell the story. O'Connor looking to hold front spot. An attempted soccer, and it comes back to O'Connor, who flicks it out the back door. Away goes McCurry. Now a chance for Hardwick, who's got to change course, and in doing so it proved rather costly. McLeod overruns it a little too quick. Bickley tried to get it out towards Hart, but Barry Young was there. Now Fraser is away, and so are the Bombers. Up towards half forward, and James Hird takes the mark. Short he goes, and this time Gary O'Donnell will have a shot.
Hird, who to my mind has been Essendon's best player, O'Donnell. He's a fellow that's really is a credit to the game and to himself, and the way he's really worked on his game. He's become a very, very, very good player.
Best and fairest at Windy Hill in 1993, and kicks his first goal for the night.
And that's why he's a good player. He had a chance. And he's really worked on that, his game. And the kick straight through the centre. Oh, head over the ball.
So Robin and O'Connor in the centre. Hurd's gone into the middle as well. Quickly, as he so often does. Gets that ball forward. Falls to Jarman, who's been absolutely sensational. Towards his brother. Can't get hold of it, but McLeod can. Off the ground. Hit the post.
That was a bit of class the way McLeod picked that ball up then.
Yes, he's a lovely mover, isn't he? Just, I was letting on a socket that he just threw it on his boot quickly. Terrific play out the middle. So once again, this kick to Thompson, and much better leading player running the space. Thompson comes along the boundary line to Danaher, and that's a good grab. He stopped the ball in the air, so that's a mark. So it comes back inside. Hurd, the runner. He's a trier, isn't he? He really does. He is really working hard. The scoreboard says that he shouldn't, or perhaps may not have, but he really wants to work hard. McCurry now forced to play on, comes back inside, kicks. Somerville surely on the end of it. Pretty good play from the Bombers late in the game. So Peter Somerville probably had quite a night by his standards. Pittman's been very good. Now having a rest up forward. And looking at the Bombers' 8th goal.
And a goal will equal their lowest score against Adelaide, that being 8-10.
So he's going to kick from probably round about 40 metres. Kicks it up high, and the goal umpire hasn't moved, so they have got to that level, Sandy, their equals lowest score.
Peter Somerville, who's been on the bench, now playing at full forward. McCurry, a little undecided there. You can see there he spotted one, had that option covered. And hit Somerville leading from full forward. Big height difference. Jamison's got Somerville down at full back.
Back in the middle once again as time ticks away and McDermott ticks out of the centre to Nick Pesh. Away go the Crows down towards the forward line. Jarman at the back. Caught but gets his kick and misses. Right. One behind. His tally is 4-4. 18 kicks, 9 hand passes, 6 marks. It's been a big night for Andrew Jarman. It's been a big night for Darren Jarman. This is Chris Danaher off to Damien Hardwick into Ben Doolan. Gets around the man on the mark, being Darren Jarman. High kick towards James Hurd. With him is Smart. They've been hammer and tongs all night. Hart is going to run out of room, but again he's hassled by James Hurd. Another throw. Big pack of players on the bounce. Hurd flicks it back delightfully towards Cockatoo Collins. Used the body well and takes the mark directly in front. Shea Cockatoo Collins has kicked a couple, both in the third quarter. And he should have no trouble posting the Bombers' night. Directly in front, and he does exactly that.
Well, all it is doing now is adding a little bit of respectability to the Essendon score, but you can understand what's happening. Adelaide have just slackened off in the traces just this little bit. They're so far in front now. And Hurd has easily been Essendon's best player. Once again, putting the ball down, and Cockatoo Collins showing he's got quite a bit of class. That's his third goal.
So 4 goals, 3 this quarter to the Bombers, and 4 goals, 7 to Adelaide. Neil Curley talked about that at 3/4 time. They just might slacken off a bit, but I mean, they probably should have kicked some more goals. Some points have come. Liptak's been very busy. There's this man, Bickley, throws it onto his left foot. Jarman wants to use his body and does it beautifully. Remarkable, isn't it, when nights go your way, and you try those a lot and some just absolutely stick.
Hughes pulls him off, fending him off. He's got the Richard Loveridge sleeves. Richard Loveridge, who played for Hawthorn as a rover, made those sleeves famous, the three-quarter sleeve.
So Andrew Jarman from 30 metres has kicked his fifth goal, and he's pretty happy about it. So 23-23, 46 shots, Don, to 19.
Yes, it's the best I've seen him move, Jarman. The best I've seen him move. And here he is, just too big and strong, big bulky body. Really has finished his work off well.
Just over a minute remaining, as the lead is again out to 97 points. Hurd at the bottom of the pack. And with him is Jarman. Darren Jarman. Andrew's booted 5, Darren's booted 2. Hurd does the ruck work. Tries to pluck it out of the air, and eventually it's almost thrown towards Mercedes. Socket wide. Back towards the centre wing, picked up by O'Donnell, off to the run of Simons. It's a high one in towards Somerville. Got a hand to it, that was all. Barry Young is called to play on. He does, and he misses. It's a behind. (9-11). Plays 23-23. Hart goes short to Bond. Bond from the back pocket finds Pesh, who's spent a lot of time on the bench. He's now trying to make up for lost time. He heads to the outer side. Robrin gives it away towards Jarman. He's used pinpoint accuracy so far tonight. And right to the end, he continues with that pinpoint accuracy. Finding Peter Caven to Nigel Smart. Have a shot, Nigel, on the siren. He does, but he's run out of time, and maybe just as well, because they went out of bounds on the full. But a standing ovation for the Adelaide Crows. Have a listen to this. An eventual margin of 94 points. A blistering performance by the Crows, and the Bombers leave Football Park shell-shocked. 96 points, that winning margin should be, not 94, with the Crows booting 23-23, 161, and Essendon 9-11-65. Andrew Jarman booting 5 goals. He was their principal scorer. Tony Modra booted 3. Peter Caven also booted 3 goals. It was an excellent team performance. A number of players booted 2, including Darren Jarman, David Pittman, Andrew McLeod, and it really was a very, very good performance. The Bombers, on the other hand, are going to have to regroup. Shea Cockatoo-Collins, their main contributor, with 3. Here's Curls.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sandy. Well, Matty, that's just about the best team performance I've ever seen the Crows put in.
Yeah, we certainly did put in a great team performance, and there's a lot of talk out there tonight, and things are going well for us.
The tackling and the harassing of the players, it's really come to the fore now.
Yeah, I think that goes to show exactly what we feel for each other. We're really going in and bearing in. As you said, it's a great team effort.
And on a personal note, you're enjoying your footy again.
Yes, it's great to be out, and it's great to be playing, and I'm just enjoying giving back a bit to the club that they've supported me through hard times.
Well played. Go and enjoy yourself.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks. Back to you, Sandy.
Yes, thank you, Curls. And his teammates wait for him. He jogs over there now, and the theme song starts, and so do about 35,000 delirious fans.
Actually, Sandy, they were really well led from the start. I admired Bickley, although he won't figure prominently. But boy, in that first quarter, when it really did have to be won, there he is, the captain, victorious captain, going off.
And celebrating his 100th game too, and what a way to do it.
Esposito with Beckley, Andrew Jarman, Nigel Smart. We talked so much about the clash of Smart and Hurd. He wore him like a glove, Don.
Yes, it was a great battle, and I think on the night maybe I'd give it to Hurd, but early on it was a terrific effort. Pittman did exceptionally well. There's a big fellow. He's got the responsibility. And also there's a surprise packet in Caven. Caven, you know, he's not quick across the ground. He seems to be in the right place, and what he does do is very good. His delivery of the ball is really quite exceptional. McDermott, who came on the bench, I just hope he gets a little bit more exposure, because you do lose form if you don't you're not constantly playing football. And you know, he's much fitter, as I said in the commentary, than he has been for years. McDermott and Hart back to his best. No, they did exceptionally well tonight. Very hard at the ball early, and they finished it off with skill at the end.
Bill Sanders there, welcome in, and the boys gather for the song. Yes, 96 points is the eventual margin. Just checking that scoreline again. Adelaide 23-23, 161. Essendon 9-11, 65.
I got my scarf, got my I got a 40 game to go to. 40's on, 40's here again. Back.
Whatever you drive and wherever you drive it, you can be confident in the protection of mobile oils to not only keep you moving, but to keep the world turning.
In this week's Sunday Mail, you'll find more than a good read guaranteed. You'll find the Movieland Sunday Mail $1 Million free video hire offer. Look in the TV Plus on the Video Plus pages, where there's all the information on latest release videos, and see how you can get 8 weeks of free video hire. There's also the chance to win a Sony Viewtopia VCR from Radio Rentals. So don't miss this week's Sunday Mail. Everyone gets free video hire for 8 weeks. And the Sunday Mail
will entertain you.
It's a roof renovation bonanza at Bromelco this month. Save 10% on re-roof. Save 20% on gutters. Save 30% on roof restoration. Yes, 30% off roof restorations. That's re-roof 10% off, gutters 20% off, restoration 30% off. Don't miss out this month for up to 30% off your roofing requirements. Call Bromelco now on 349 4666. That's 349 4666.
Yes, it's true. Discount Lounge Centre now sells some of Adelaide's best quality suites. And yes, it's true, they're at Adelaide's lowest prices.
And yes, it's true! Lounge liquidators have closed and we're liquidating their entire stock. Suites at way below normal cost. We got them cheap and we'll sell them cheap. We'll even give you 12 months interest free.
At Discount Lounge Centre, corner of Goodger and Morford Street City, Discount City Parafield, 90 Main South Road, Ranella, and our brand new store at 23 Anzac Highway, Keswick.
I hear you guys worship Aussie rules. Hey! What sort of religion is that? Unbelievable.
Qantas Autumn Sale. Huge savings to places like Melbourne, just $169 return. Or Sydney, only $269 return. Better hop to it. Sale ends May 2. Call your licensed or APTA travel agent or Qantas now.
There are many war films that have been called great, but viewers and critics agree just one can truly be called the greatest. On 7 for the first time with the superb new digital master, Steve McQueen, in the performance of his career, is joined by the biggest screen legend you'll ever see in a daring adventure based on the incredible true event. Watch it while you can, and you could be riding away on a Harley Davidson. A Great Escape, 8:30 Sunday on 7.
Remembering those who fell in battle and those who fought for freedom. Graham Goodings and Jane Doyle host Adelaide's 1996 Anzac Day March, live 9:30 Thursday morning on 7.
Final scoreline here at Football Park in front of 45,266. Adelaide 23-23, 161, 96-point victors over Essendon, 9-11-65. And Don, you said something about expectations at the start of the night. Was that a Moz?
Well, I think it might have been Sandy, but Jan, I thought he had a few. Our cameraman here said, just remember the Crows are on top. Righto, Jan, we've done it. We know they're on top, and you're a typical Adelaidean. Is that a word, Adelaidean or South Australian? But here are some of the highlights, and really it was in the first quarter. And I like the way, as I said previously, the way they hit hard in the first quarter, Adelaide. They really did it well. They set it up well. Essendon were also equal to the task too, but then the little things started going Adelaide's way, like that one from Jarman. And he was really quite good in the way that he finished off. He really did finish it off on the scoreboard. Finishing with 5 goals for. He kicked 3 goals actually in the first quarter, and here's his second one. And again, as I said in commentary, it's probably the best I've seen him move. He's not very quick, but he certainly does know where the ball is. Mark Harvey had a dirty night, as a lot of his teammates did, but Caven does the things. There it is there. He is a real plus-up forward, a surprise packet. He's always played his football down back for Fitzroy and Sydney. And Moderate went off. I don't know why they took him off. You know, he hasn't played a game. This is his first game. He only had a 6% tear on his medial ligament, but I thought maybe a little bit of match practice could have helped him, but then again he may have just gave it a little bit of a twing once again. Fletcher started at centre-half back. He was on centre-half forward for a little while off the ground, then went to full forward, and there he is kicking a goal. This man had a dirty night. Just watch this. This will sum up tonight's performance. Not by him, but by the Essendon side. Nothing could work. There was just no movement down forward for Hardwick. He had to go long, and then he just ran himself into trouble. And there's that man again, Caven, number 44. And with their pickups, Costa, Caven, Jarman, they've been experienced pickups. Allen's quiet but very serviceable. This man, this was a sensational goal. I've been critical in the past of his delivery of the ball, and some of his kicks tonight weren't real flash. But that was an excellent kick. On the run, 65 metres out. Pryor. Oh, excuse me, and Jarman will finish this off with a goal. But just nothing went for Essendon tonight. They can just discount this because they'll be a better combination when they come against Collingwood at MCG on Anzac Day. Petch, lip-tack going wide. Don't know why he went wide. But then again, as I said in commentary, we're up here commentating, they're down there playing, and that's why he did, because he knew it was going to be a certain goal, and they should all fancy the Crows as far as kicks they do, handballs, everything just about fancies the Crows, favours the Crows. And the centre breaks, look at that, 21-14. Pittman, I thought, was excellent. He really did set it up in the first half. He had O'Connor on him on occasion. They had to try and run somewhere with him. He's going from the bounce down in the centre to half forward, and he controlled the centre. He got Somerville running around at a 45-degree angle or straight on, and then he faced him up, made him still face him up by moving around the circle, exposed Somerville, and I thought he was an excellent player.
So those stats favoured the Crows. What about your Sports World votes? Who did they favour?
Crows. And here they are. Darren Jarman, excellent in the first half, picked up a lot of possessions. I don't know what he finished the game with, but he was excellent early. David Pittman, because of his first half effort, again, when it was a real crunch. And Andrew Jarman. No, actually, that's the wrong way around. I had Andrew. No, that's so. No, I'm getting my Jarmans mixed up. But yes, Andrew finished with...
Andrew finished with 5 goals.
Yes, I know. No, I'm just looking at... I just got confused there with the Jarmans. I don't know why they're both playing in the same team, but just for our confusion. But very good effort.
The AFL Centenary Season, proudly brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors Australia, Qantas, the Australian airline, Foster's Lager, Mobil, Nike, and McDonald's.
So after tonight's game, let's have a look at the progressive goal kickers as they stand at the moment, and the Jarman boys both figuring. Stewie Lowe bagged 8 today, so he is leading the way with 23. Of course, Ablett is on holiday and enforced holiday. Andrew Jarman 5 tonight to move to 16. Darren booted 2. He's only one behind on 15, so both the Jarman boys certainly showing their influence in this Crows outfit at the moment. Another one who is very, very reliable, Don, is Ben Hart. Here he is with the Curls right now.
Thank you, Sandy. Well, Ben, you've been here for quite a while in this Crows outfit. That's just about the complete team game.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. We played pretty well tonight.
Too bad?
Yeah, well, I think there's still a bit of improvement in us. We're playing well, we're hitting the ball very hard, getting at it. We've got another game next week, another test next week over in Melbourne, so we're looking forward to that one.
You're part of the defence, which is a pretty miserable defence at the moment. When I say miserable, you're miserly. And is this the most confident the group's been?
I believe so. We're more settled this year. We've sort of got our spots and we sort of take who comes. We don't swap around because there's a bigger or small. We can all play on the taller or the smaller one. So it's very settled. If it stays like that for a while, it's going to be pretty good.
I saw them lip tack after the game, and the tackling and the harassing of the Crows side this year is just miles ahead of what it's been.
Yeah, it certainly is. We're definitely at the ball, hitting the ball hard, hitting the body hard. You do those things well and the ball starts coming your way, and then you can use it, and with some of the midfield players we've got, the skills of those, they just come to the fore. So, that's been part of our plan over the pre-season, and hopefully it can continue.
Another pleasing feature, of course, was Modra coming through, and he looked pretty good out there, and he'll going to get better.
Yeah, it was magnificent. He's been itching to play, since pre-season and the last couple of weeks. But he was good. Had rested him in the last bit there, but hitting the ball well, and hopefully he can, just get better.
Big test next week, North Melbourne MCG.
Certainly is, big game. They're a tough side, so we're going to get at them and give it our best shot.
Once again, Benny, well played. Good luck.
Thanks, girls.
Yes, thank you, Curls. That is going to be a monster game, isn't it? The Adelaide Crows up against North Melbourne, another very, very stern test. We'll take a break, more shortly from Football Park.
Who has the most experienced football analysis in Adelaide? Neil Curley, that's who. So who does the footy better than 7, Neil?
Nobody.
The King Hit, Monday nights.
Nobody knows news like 7.